What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the liberal loudmouth. All right. We are back again. Fair warning, y'all. Shit. All right, we are live. Fall live? What the fuck is that? What's up, y'all? Come on in. Come on, come on. Let us do it together. All right, let's start with some roses. How about we do 50 of them? Let's do 50 of those bitches. Yeah. All right. Pinned. I should have waited until everybody showed up. Damn me. Damn it. You know, let me do a quick video on the ticker talker. Oh. Yeah. Also, I can't. What the fuck is that? Okay, am I on acid or is something crazy happening here? There's something happening here. What the fuck? Why is it doing that? What in the actual... Are you guys seeing this? This dual screen crap? What the fuck? It was strange. See that post. Oh, wow. All right, let me do something real quick like. Okay, people are starting to roll in. I'm gonna do a quick video. What's up, guys? The live has begun, so jump on in there if you want to have a discussion about really whatever. And we'll see you guys in there. Peace. It's riveting material, okay? I should have done a video first, but guys, I was fucking stayed up till like 3 o'clock this morning. My eyes feel like they've got sandpaper inside of them. I haven't gone without that much sleep in a long time, so please forgive me. Come join. I'm gonna have to delete that shit after I'm done, because, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Are you guys seeing this? If you want to do back and forth. Is it looking weird to you? Like, yeah, okay, Orion, you see that too? What the fuck is that? I'm in the Matrix, y'all. In the Matrix. I have no idea what that's about. What I can say is I was earlier messing with this like AI thing, but I didn't like turn it on. Dynamic effects. No. What the fuck? That's the second time it's done that, so I don't know what the hell. I don't know. I may have to restart this biatch. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I am turning into a zombie, or that I've fully already transitioned into said zombie, so bear with me. What the... Okay, is that happening every time somebody sends me a heart me? Hold on, let's wait until it's over, and let's see what happens. What in the fuck? Okay, let me try something here. Let me see. That is some weird shit. Hold on. Okay, somebody send a heart me real quick. Yeah, you and me both, Maverick. Somebody send me a heart me, and let's see if that's what's causing this. Because the last time it did that, it was right after somebody sent a heart me. So if you have 1 penny Actually, you know what? Let me go on my alt real quick. Okay, that's what it is. What the fuck? I wonder if it does it to the panel. If it makes the panel look weird or if it's just me. Let me go to my alt. Okay. Witchingly did cast a spell on me yesterday. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's happening. Yeah, that is so weird. Okay, so I'm gonna come up with my alt here real quick. Let me see if. Oh God. Well, if it happens with gifts too, that's gonna suck. Okay, somebody send another heart me or a rose, and let's see. This has got to be a setting that I've inadvertently turned on or something. I don't. Clear effect. Mark up. What? Okay. Dynamic effects. Turn that off. Well, none of it's on. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We may just have to deal with it. Oh, it is good now. Okay. Maybe it's because I have a panelist now. So I'll just keep my alt up there. All right. Well, welcome in, guys. Good morning. So I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but let's take a look-see. The Trump administration has arrested somebody in connection with the pipe booming placement. A person named Brian. Was it Brian Cox? Brian Cole. Brian Cole. Let me bring that up here for you. I got a picture right here. So I don't know about you, but I'm not sure if anybody can tell who that is. It's like, well, it's guy with the white pullover. We got you, Brian. We got you, Brian. So when they say that they've arrested somebody, I'm sorry, I don't trust this administration enough for anything. So when they tell me they've got the right person, I just have to assume they're lying. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but damn, they lie all the time. So, yeah, so it doesn't say what evidence there is. It just shows the picture. You know, your guess is as good as mine at this point, I suppose. But also we have the Supreme Court case, Trump v. Slaughter, is coming up on the 8th, and that has to do with the firing of that employee, Rebecca Slaughter, was it? Was that her name, Debo? Let me look.
I missed I heard you say Supreme Court. I missed your other part after that.
Yeah, it's Trump had fired this person. Rebecca Slaughter. Yeah, Rebecca Slaughter.
The governor on the Fed? Is that who you're talking about?
No, Trump fired an FTC person.
Oh, yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I apologize. Like I said, I came in right, like I cut out, so I apologize.
Man, I don't even know what's going on either. I stayed up till like 3 o'clock this morning. Oh my God, dude.
You sound like shit, dude.
Yeah, I feel like shit. So this is, I may end up going an hour and passing out on the live. So if that happens,
if you fall asleep with your head on the desk, I'm screaming real loud.
Just carry on without me.
We're gonna start saying a bunch of TOS violations.
Oh God.
That'll just keep you awake.
Okay. What the fuck is going on with this shit? Look at this. Are you seeing this too, Debo?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Am I on? Did
TikTok
I eat an
feels
edible?
like I feel at this point.
You're doing that on purpose, dude. There's no way. There's no way that's real.
Scout's honor. I don't know what's going on with it.
Dude, that is a trip, dude. Oh my God, I can't even look at my screen.
Yeah, no, somebody cast a spell on me yesterday. I think it's working.
It's called vodka.
If I ever get vodka that makes me do like that, I'm never drinking again.
It's the vodka that has the worm in the bottom of the bottle.
That's the worm crawling around. That's what's making it do that.
Right. I think we all
Jesus.
drank the same worm.
Oh my God. No, I've got bad experience with worms, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can say that, but holy shit, dude.
We just did. So
yeah.
We'll find out, I guess.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, after last night, y'all, I was up on Laura's live. It was very interesting.
Dude, that shit gets off the fucking rails, my guy.
Dude, did you see that from last night?
No, I went to fucking bed. I've been staying up far too late on TikTok lately, and I gotta do better. So
yeah,
I went to bed.
Real quick, America First. Are you would you be opposition to a liberal or not? Only ask because
America First is kind of, he's a libertarian, I would say.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me.
But he supports Trump. He's a cool dude. He's a good dude.
Come on in then, sir.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, what's up, America?
Oh, that's not the dude I thought it was. My bad. I don't know this guy. I thought it was somebody else.
Anyway, what's up, America First?
Did you say you're far right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, what's up, man?
I'm very curious. I didn't see where that guy got arrested.
Oh, yeah, right here. So what the fuck? I wonder if this is gonna do it.
Dude, it is so weird, bro.
Yeah, so it's when somebody sends a gift or a heart me, it's doing that. And I don't know why.
It's gonna be doing that a lot in this live because there's a lot of love.
Well, you know what? I may just restart the damned live studio to see if that fixes it. But here, let me show you America. Did he drop? Yeah, here. Yeah, here's the article. Suspect arrested in Jan 6 pipe boom boom case. I don't know why it took so damn long.
It wasn't that chick that they were saying it was?
Well, they're saying it's Brian Cole, but it didn't say what evidence they have. You know what I mean? It just offers that picture and says that Brian Cole is identified as a suspect in custody, according to two senior law enforcement officials briefed on the matter. The arrest marks a breakthrough in the case that has stymied investigators for nearly 5 years. So,
isn't that odd that nobody ever got caught for that, for the severity of what could have taken place for that? Don't you think that's kind of weird?
Yes. And almost okay, I can't fucking holy shit. Let me restart my live studio.
Yeah, buddy.
It shouldn't end the live, but I'll be right back. This is crazy.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on. That's gonna drive me and everybody else insane. So
makes me want to go eat a handful of something. It makes me want to go eat a handful of something. Yeah.
We love mushrooms around here. All right, I'll be right back, man.
All right.
All right, to the people on YouTube, I am coming right back. I'm just restarting my shit right now. It's I don't think you can see what's happening, but it's all fucking weird. It's doubling the screen. I don't know, it's weird. I've never seen it before. Continue live. All right, we're back. Somebody send me a rose or something. Let's test this shit and see
let's see if I can.
Maybe we fixed it. Did we fix it? Yay!
Don't speak too soon.
Well, you're right. I probably shouldn't.
Just roll with it.
Yeah, no, let's
take it in stride.
Fuck, man. Maverick, I saw you talking about me breaking my format. I didn't have a chance. I literally got up at 8:58 and I was supposed to go live at 9, so I haven't done any prep work for today. So I may just start pulling people in because I don't know what the fuck's going on in the world right now. I don't even know what's going on in my office right now.
I'm fucking stuck. I'm sliding in 1 inch of snow because there's fucking ice.
Oh God,
Holy fuck, dude.
that's always fun.
Yeah.
No, I recently was in Oklahoma, and when I left, it had just started like freezing rain. Dude, over like a 10-mile stretch, there was like 7 cars off in the fucking ditch. It was nuts.
It's fucking sketchy, bro. When there's a sheet of ice underneath the fucking snow.
Bunny, thank you for that.
God.
That was cool. Did you see that? That Polaris?
I missed it.
It was awesome. Well, let me bring in this other guy here too. Cancel culture's been waiting.
Did you hear about the Supreme Court? This is what I thought you were talking about. The Supreme Court case where the 3, I think it's liberal justices that removed themselves from the case about the election interference of 2020. It came out the other day. Have you?
I hadn't seen that, huh?
Yeah, you should look into that because it was quite an interesting topic.
Let me see. So you're saying the election interference case judges recused?
Yeah, I think it was something oh God, it starts with a D. It's not Dobbs. Because the Dobbs decision has nothing to do with the election.
Well, I'm looking. Judge Tanya Chutkin denied a recusal request from Trump's legal team regarding his 2020 election subversion case. Is that what you're referring to?
No.
I'm gonna need more information, Debo.
I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Or is it the judge dropping or dismissing the election interference case? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'll send it to you, dude.
I'm trying, man.
I know. I'm doing I can't remember the name of the fucking.
Yeah, or you can like send me a private message or something. I can talk about it on another day.
Yeah, I'll DM it to you.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting little. I started to dive into it yesterday and then got busy at work, and that was that. But
yeah,
you know how it goes.
Yeah, no,
that squirrel.
That's basically yes. But so do you believe that the president should be able to have more power than Congress, because Congress passed laws saying that, you have to have reason and cause to fire people?
I think you need Congress to make a ruling about executive orders if you want that to happen, right?
Okay. Can I ask my question before you answer?
Okay.
That'd be awesome. Anyway, see, now I fucking forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so Congress passes rules about firing people, in the federal executive, in the agencies that they themselves create. Should the president be able to just disregard those laws and just fire whoever he wants, whenever he wants, for whatever reason he wants?
I think oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you answer first. I'll answer after.
So I think it depends on the position. I think if it's directly under the executive branch, and it has to do with his cabinet, I absolutely think that the president should be able to control who is in his because those people are effectuating his policy the most. Like outside of that, I think it should, because you have to have Congress approve, the AG and the FBI director, like that, all of those kind of things. So no, I don't.
I think that's a fair assessment, honestly.
Yeah.
Debo, those that he directly, like, around his orbit, instead of firing some doctor that was hired under the FDA to as if he would know.
I have a different take on this. I think they should abuse it as much as they can, because we need the legislative branch to step up and make the laws, like they execute the laws that they have in place, and therefore we don't know how far we can take things until it actually happens, right?
So you mean like purposely push it to the edge to see how far you can bend our Constitution until it breaks?
No.
Well, no. Bend it as far as possible to have the legislation actually fucking make a difference. That's what I'm saying.
I think I understand what you're trying to say. I think so. I think I get it. Like to basically, well, because I thought it was weird. It's like the people that took this to court, right? The Rebecca Slaughter took this to court. It's like you guys keep suing these, knowing that this Supreme Court is up Donald Trump's ass, and they're gonna like vote in favor of him nearly every fucking time. So why do we keep bringing these cases in front of the court?
The people who are suing don't have the basis for it, but they're doing it for the same principle that I kind of just explained, right? That's why they're doing it, right? They're doing it in what? Out of Texas, out of a certain jurisdiction that tends to progress the lawsuits, right? And it's worked. First of all, right? It's been highly successful, right?
For me, I don't think just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I think that goes across the board.
Well, no, we need to have hard-coded Congress laws to prevent it, but we don't have that right now. So what we should be doing is pushing the legislation as far as possible, because well, that's where we disagree.
Well, so this has been like the issue I'm bringing up has been precedent since like 1935 or something. This executor precedent that was set that said you basically had to have a reason because Congress said you had to have a reason. And so that's about to get overturned. I believe that the court is going to give Trump even more power through this unitary executive theory that they've been pushing, the Heritage Foundation's been pushing for a while, which essentially is like king-ish, right? And so the court's going to say, well, the Congress doesn't have this right, even though they passed a law saying that this is the case. The court is about to hand over congressional power to Trump, is what we're dealing with here. I'm not sure that your like analogy fits necessarily.
So you're kind of scared though that the separation of powers isn't going to be able to be separated. Is that that's kind of what I'm picking up?
Yes. Okay. Because if you think about it, that's something of a check on the executive.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? In a subtle way, but it's still a check, and you remove that. And now Trump can, for whatever reason, just
I agree with you about that.
You're out, you know,
but you guys are neglecting to understand that like there has been a decades-long power grab in the legislation area, right? Like we've been having judges who are playing into this entire policy thing, right? We right now of the Supreme Court, right? 7 of them are part of this organization, right?
Right. Part of the. What do you mean organization?
I forgot what it's called. It's there's a conservative society. I forgot what it's called.
Conservative society?
Like you mean like Heritage Foundation type shit?
Yes, exactly like that. Yeah. And 7 of the justices are part of that organization.
7 of the 9?
Yeah, dude.
Well, they subscribe to the ideology. I don't know that they're like card-carrying members of some organization.
Well, they were brought up through the system. The system guides them to that specific,
the Federalist Society, I think, is what you're trying to...
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So,
and if you look at it, right, 7 of those Supreme Court justices are part of it, right? Dude, are you munching on chips or some shit?
Nope, I'm getting all my tools out of the door of my truck.
He's getting the happy shrooms out.
Dude.
Don't get it started again, Debo, please.
I know you said it, not me.
Yo, liberal. If you look at it for a minute, right? You'll see what I'm saying is true, right? They are all part of this federal society thing, which has the a possibility of overlooking Congress and legislation, right? They can overpower it.
I mean,
yes, I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about, and that's why this court is likely going to rule against Rebecca, slaughtering in favor of Trump.
But here's the thing that Democrats could do that they're not doing, right? Pack the court. Why not?
They should have.
No, fucking no. You both stop it right
absolutely.
now.
No. Listen. Every 4 years,
I do agree.
The court. That's it.
Yeah, I don't care if we have 900. If we end up in 10 years, we got 900 justices. No, I'm okay with that.
Why do you want to? Whoa! Why do you want the federal government to be less effective?
Because first of all, they're not, dude. Because every president who comes into office places whatever agenda they want, and this is why we should pack the court, right? We won't have long-term issues with either party.
Jesus Christ. You guys look, okay, let me use this exact, okay, go ahead, Liv.
I was just going to say, packing the court was I wanted Biden to do that temporarily to resolve an issue that we had in that moment. But what Congress needs to do, get off their ass and pass a law that says every president is allowed to appoint a Supreme Court justice. They can put fucking, term limits and shit in there. They can work this out so that every president gets to appoint at least one justice in each of their terms, and they should do that.
50
justices. And they should do that.
Okay, so let me
explain
why.
Well, Debo, think about this for a second. You have a bunch of lower courts that are all judges. They're all tenured. They've got, they've been doing this for 20, 30 years, right? And then a bunch of them say no. And then the Supreme Court, which is, a small number of judges, they're like, yes, and overturn far more judges than they are. It just seems weird to me that there's, that this is how we operate, and it is basically like a likability contest where they played politics enough to get their name into a pot to be nominated, but they're no different than the other federal judges that we have. Really, in the end of the day, they're not special.
Liberal. The problem we have is that there's this one section in Texas who all their rulings end up in the Supreme Court, and people specifically start lawsuits there because they know it's easy to go to the Supreme Court and get the final judgment. And that's a pretty big issue. It's abuse of our legislative branch.
Well, is it abuse of legislative or is it abuse of the executive? Holy shit, real quick. Why is it Kim, thank you for the $50. Kim,
Let's go,
you.
Kim.
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
Wow. That's Merry Christmas. Thank you.
What's your biggest one?
Debo,
I actually think somebody sent me $90. Yes, Aaron Square sent me $90, I think was my biggest.
Debo, do you know about this part of Texas that does this or not?
Part of Texas that does what? I thought we were talking about the federal government.
Yeah, well, they bring up lawsuits in this specific section of Texas to go to the Supreme Court. Do you know about this or not?
I don't specifically that specifically. No.
Well, what would your opinion be about it?
So I mean I kind of already said I think that each branch of the government should stay in its own fucking lane. Meaning the executive should stay in the executive. The judicial should stay in the judicial, and Congress and the legislative should legislate.
Yeah, but you have a judicial branch overstretching its boundaries.
So the problem is really that.
Oh, I see. Positivity. Thank you. I didn't see your on there, and forgive me, I didn't see that, but thank you so much. Wow.
Oh, no problem.
Much appreciated.
It's been a few days since
I'm now a little bit more awake than I was like 20 seconds ago.
You know what money does for people?
I know. It brightens my day.
Money's a magical thing. It's a magical thing.
Yeah. So the problem that we have with the Supreme Court is that the Code of Ethics has not been applied to them. and they ruled for themselves that they are above the code of ethics. If they applied the general code of ethics for all judges to the Supreme Court justices, we would not have the problem that we're having right now.
Well, I mean,
I agree.
Well,
it is weird. Yes, Debo, go ahead. Go ahead. You've been trying to jump in there.
So I mean, I think to pretend like, you know, the justices or the federal government or anyone that's
I don't want to hear
participating.
your excuse, DB. I don't want to hear an excuse.
How do you even know what I'm gonna fucking say?
Let him finish. He got interrupted
He
by
was
me
getting ready to make
and
excuses about everybody does a little corruption, like everybody's a little bit.
Is
shady.
that what it was?
Yeah, that's what you were getting ready to do.
Positivity. Hold on. Positivity.
We don't
Hold on.
do that.
Nobody's
above the law.
We can rebut anything that he says when he says it. So, Debo, by all means, please finish your thought. In positivity, I'll go right back to you. You're welcome to rebut it. Go ahead.
So, to pretend like you don't have. I mean, who was it? Was it Jackson? What was her name? The new Supreme Court justice. What was her name? I can't.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Jackson, correct. Like, probably one of the most unqualified people to be in the Supreme Court.
Oh my God, she's one of the most qualified.
Now you're being racist.
And what makes her qualified?
Christ, you didn't even look at her resume. You just looked at her skin color. You racist.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, she's right.
Okay.
No, she's right.
So explain why you think that Ketanji Brown Jackson is not qualified, or was the least qualified. Can you?
Yeah. What's your basis for that?
Yeah.
So I would just say on merit alone, because I mean, if you go back and watch her hearing,
on merit alone, she is the
can
most
I fucking
qualified.
finish a single fucking sentence? I literally say 3 words and you start screaming down my fucking neck,
because
dude.
you're lying.
All right, liberal. Have a good one. I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not.
All right, I think that's fair, Debo. Yeah, look, I wanted to hear what Debo had to say because everything that he would say we could easily rebut, right? Because we know that she had plenty of accolades to back up her ability to be on the Supreme Court. We know that, and so we could have easily, gone piece by piece the things that he would say and rebut that. And I wanted to, but he's got to go to work anyway. So
look, I may have.
The problem is that when we let them say like the full piece, then there's like 100 people in the room that hear it, and some of them go and spread it. It spreads like cancer through our society.
Look,
I just don't believe that we should be spreading lies and disinformation that way and letting it just take over our society like a fucking cancer.
Yeah, and I want to point out to anybody that's listening, and I see what you're saying, Positivity, but that's why we have these debate panels, because when somebody says something out of pocket and we have the information that is factual, we can rebut those things, and people in the comment section are going to know which of us is being more truthful. For example, I believe that Ketanji was the first justice that was a public defender. I believe there's been no other justices. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is true. She is the first justice in history to have also been a public defender. And that says something about her experience, being able to defend people who are defenseless. And we have her now on the Supreme Court. That's why she's been such a vociferous advocate in her fucking rebuttals to what this, fascistic Supreme Court has been doing. Because she's been on that side of the aisle, but instead they usually use prosecutors or people who, right into judgeships, fucking traffic courts, what have you. So, she's more than qualified. That's, I think, beyond question here.
Well, it's not even just that. It's like for any black woman in this society to rise to the level that she did, where she could even be considered for a Supreme Court judge, she had to be not just qualified, she had to be mega qualified. She had to be so full of ethics and so full of good behavior in her resume and in her court cases and in her rulings, and so close to the Constitution and so pure in her motivations and in her behaviors and in her unbriberyship, so they couldn't find anything.
Look,
like she had to be heads and tails above any other person just to be considered. And to come out and believe Donald Trump's stupid shit that it was a DEI hire and that she wasn't qualified and it wasn't based on merit is total bullshit. You see a black woman being considered for a position, she is qualified 200 million times more than the next candidate.
Yeah, cancel, go ahead.
First of all, I may have some liberal views, but overall, I voted for Trump, first of all, just to get that off the plate.
We can't all be perfect, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But look, this is why I brought up the whole pack the core things, right? Because I'm just taking it from a objective place, right, where I see what can be done to make each side fair, right? That's why I even have that opinion, right? Because I think it would balance it out, balance the power structure that we have, right? By the way, I voted for Trump for he's making certain industries better. Like
no, he's not. He's making criminal industries better.
Lady, no.
Okay, well, let him finish.
You got to let him finish, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Cancel.
The accounting industry, he's making a huge change to that entire industry, right? He's lowering the amount of H-1B visa holders, which is a problem in the industry. So he's not just total negative, right?
Okay.
And that's the point I want to make.
That is your opinion.
No, it's...
He did one good thing. He did one. This administration has done one good thing that I've noticed, and that was when they started using, made the car company start using female crash test dummies in their testing, their safety testing. That's the only thing I've seen that it was good. Seriously. And we actually have talked about that on the show. Matter of fact, about a month prior to them making this decision, I was like, well, holy fucking shit. Maybe they watch the Liberal Loudmouth show.
No, let me hear Danny. Danny, I think, also has another point.
Real quick, before
hey, what's happening, man? How you doing?
What's up, Danny?
One second.
What's going on, brother?
Real quick. I just want to say this real quick, and I'll step out of your guys' way. Somebody who is neurodivergent, okay? I just want to make this statement very clear. Positivity, I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you stepping in and not letting, what's his name, say all the ignorant things he was going to say about Ketanji Brown. I appreciate that coming from a black woman. But number two, right? In order to have a productive conversation, I agree with the host. We got to let people finish, even though it sounds disgusting, right? Even though what they're about to say is about to be the most insane, bad information, mis and disinformation that they're going to say, we have to let them finish. And the reason I'm saying this is because people in the chat who are agreeing with someone like the last guy that was up here on why they say they don't like Ketanji or why she's not qualified, it lets them explain themselves, and then like Liberal was saying, you can rebut that and you can say why what they're thinking or believing is wrong. But when you don't let them get their statement out, it makes it very confusing, and then the over talking is very stimulating for a lot of us that are on the spectrum. And so I get that you're upset and you feel how you feel, and I don't want to dismiss anybody's feelings, but I also want us to understand that a lot of us in the chat, we can't decipher what is going on when everybody gets to yelling back and forth and over talking each other. So I just wanted to come up here and just put that out there for those of you who don't quite seem to understand, like, to have a productive conversation, especially when it comes to the topic of why black people may or may not be qualified to do something, and why what someone saying may or may not be racist. If you let that person get out their disgusting statement, then you can go ahead and you can course correct. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you for having me up.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Conversation, and y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see you, Lonnie. Thank you. Now I believe, and I agree with what Lonnie's saying. It is hard to trek sometimes. Danny, I think you were going to go. Please go ahead.
Yeah, man. How you doing, buddy?
Doing
How was
fine.
your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good.
Good to hear.
I bought
Good to hear.
nothing for Thanksgiving. Nothing.
Perfect.
Ended up cooking I had chicken. I had drumsticks in the fridge, and we just cooked these drumsticks. Well, I take one bite and I'm like, that tastes a little off. So we look, in the day that I'd bought the package, it had gone out the day before. And I had waited like 5 or 6 days. They'd been in the fridge for 5 or 6 days, so it was bad. So we didn't get our chicken, but we got, we had everything else. But it was good.
But on that one gentleman's thing about the H-1 visas, a lot of these H-1 visa holders that come here from other countries are doctors, are, people that we actually need in this country.
No, they're not.
You know what I'm saying?
Danny,
Yeah, I think there's a whole scam with people doing that to get cheap labor.
They're accountants,
IT people.
bro. You think accountants are needed?
So, okay, did somebody bring up H-1B visas, or are you just throwing that out there?
No,
Danny just did.
Yeah, Danny.
I brought it up.
Okay.
He was suggesting they're all doctors, but I think a lot of people,
I'm not
these
saying
big
they're all.
corporations
I'm
get
not
them.
saying they're.
Well, let me
a second, man.
I mean, I think a lot of it's cheap labor,
all
though.
doctors. I don't think they're all doctors, man. But some of them are, man.
Oh, okay, but then make it a different class or something, because the people that I come across are accountants, and we don't need that class of H-1B visa holders. We don't need them. We have plenty of Americans who can work those jobs.
That's the issue, is that this idea is that you're taking good jobs from Americans that could have them, and then you're trying to make it sound like it's a good thing. But then if we have all these doctors that are from somewhere else, what are the Americans going to do?
I agree with you guys, by the way, but unfortunately, Trump does not agree with me, right? Trump thinks that Americans have no talent, and so we have to import a bunch of people from India to take those jobs.
Bro, that's a talking point. You're taking it out of context.
Oh, what did he
Can I
really
give a hot
say?
take on Ketanji Brown, by the way?
What did he
everything-
really say? Tell us.
Yes, before we pivot away from what we were talking about, because Danny brought up H-1B visas, I would like, if TikTok Sucks wants to talk about what we were talking about, I'd like to give him a chance.
Yeah, I want to respond to this. The guy, the whole no talent thing. Like I just said, these are talking points. Trump says something, people take the worst interpretation, and then it's like, of course he's not saying no Americans have talent. That's not what he's saying.
I didn't know he was speaking poetically, so that we have to interpret
well,
it.
you guys
like
do
it's
this
a poem.
over and over again. This has been about 10 years of this, since 2016 when he won. And you guys always do this. The worst
Which is
interpretation
ridiculous.
taken.
Like, we shouldn't have a president who's not a good enough orator to be clearly.
The problem is you guys lie about what he says, man. Like,
No, we don't.
I repeated everything he said word for word. Americans are not talented. We need to bring a bunch of Indians over to come take all the jobs. That's what Trump and MAGA believe.
Right. So he said that there were fine people on both sides, right? And then you guys took that and you ran with it for years, saying he was saying totally
there's
different
not
things.
fine people.
Hold on a
white
sec.
supremacists.
See, you're doing it. You guys take the worst interpretation and then make people pretend to be stupid to get in line with your conversation. You guys are wrong. You've been wrong.
No.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Bro, what do you have?
Hold on a second.
These are the numbers for the the job types that H-1B visa holders have. This is on USCIS.gov. So most of the jobs are computer related: architecture, engineering and survey, education, administrative specialization. So I don't know, this argument that we don't have enough of those, I think, is a little weird.
Liberal. I will tell you, like, maybe it doesn't, it doesn't translate from what you just showed. But I'm in the industry. I see the people I work with, right? First of all, a lot of them are offshore, and the other part of them are H-1B visa holders in an industry that should not have them, right? It's accounting. Like, why the fuck do we need other people learning our tax laws or whatever the fuck they have to learn to be here?
Cancel. My son-in-law is an accountant. and a top level accountant, and he basically has any job he wants open to him. Like, he can move anywhere, he can do anything, because there's so many open positions and so much need in that industry.
Yeah, but he also has to deal with, you know, H-1B visa holders. He also has to deal with offshoring of employees, right? Like, if he's an accountant, he deals with that. That's just
Poetivity. Is your son just so disadvantaged by H-1B1 visa holders?
No, he's not at all. And in fact, it's like when they look around for qualified people, they have trouble finding enough of them. And so it's like,
you're talking about people with the CPA license, which is hugely different. That's what you're talking about, right?
Well, hold on a second. It seems to me you just have a problem with other people coming here and working.
Yeah,
that's what that's your problem.
Those are
okay. Hold on a second.
Those are jobs that Americans can have.
Hold on a second.
Americans
man. Let me finish what I want to say
for those jobs.
But wait a second.
You're talking about.
Are you qualified for any job, Poetivity? What are you qualified for?
What am I qualified for? I have a master's degree, first of all, and then I own my own business.
Oh, cool.
So,
you just
and my business makes a lot of money.
I'm qualified for McDonald's.
You know,
that's cool.
And
so you just repeated the fine people hoax, though. So you're actually low intelligence.
No, we never brought up fine people.
Low intelligence.
Nobody said fine people.
Woman hater.
No, I did.
Okay. So hold on, guys. I think we're losing track here.
Yeah, we're getting away from the point.
The reason that I have an issue with the way that H-1B visas have been done is that it's essentially exploiting people, because when they get over here, they have to abide by literally everything. They do what they're told, and they have to, because the corporation then has their entire life in their hands. They can revoke it at any point. They can pay them on the cheap for jobs that we can do here in the United States. I don't necessarily like it. Is there room for H-1B visas? Absolutely, because there are places where we don't have enough of those, and we can import them if that's the case. But I think they've gone far and above that, in my opinion.
Liberal. I work with some of those people that you're talking about, and they absolutely get abused by the system, because you know why? These managers and these people who work at these corporations, they for some reason know a lot about immigration law, and they know how to abuse these workers, make them work 20 hours a fucking day. I'm not lying about this. This is actually what happens. These people get abused through the system, and that's only in the accounting industry. I can only imagine how much worse it is in other industries. This is what happens, dude.
Yeah, they got like 10 Indians in a bunk in a house somewhere, and then they make them work like 16-hour days and shit, and then they can't do anything else. That's what your H-1B is, and then
people don't.
That's
people
not
think
all
that
it is, though.
And Trump supports that.
People think that we're lying when we say this, or they think that we're just spewing a right position, a conservative position. This is shit that happens, really.
Yep.
And that's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to try to pull up this clip here of Trump and what he actually said, because I remember him talking about, the U.S. doesn't have enough intelligence, or they're not smart enough, or something like that. We don't have enough talented people. Let me play this real quick.
Have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't.
They're doing a voiceover of his quote. Let me find the one where he's actually saying it. That's stupid.
Donald Trump.
Okay, give me a second.
Well,
I'll get
talked
it
about
queued
this
up.
too. You got an issue where you can hire an American. If you hire like a 21-year-old guy that just finished college, he's going to have a lower work ethic than a guy from India that is making a huge amount of money compared to what he would make in India to do a job that a college grad would do otherwise. And so that is an aspect of it, and it's real, and it's been happening for decades. You can look back to the movie Office Space. The one guy was Indian, and it was it was happening all the way back then. This has been since the 90s.
Well, let me play this clip. I think I found it.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
no,
here.
You don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
It's an interesting soundbite.
No, look.
No.
No. I see.
That explained it for Trump.
Dude, he was referring to IT workers, is what he was referring to there. Okay, that's what he was referring to.
To IT workers?
Yes.
Are they the ones that make missiles?
I can tell you right now, we have plenty of IT workers in this country. I know this for a fact.
He was referring to in that clip that you just played. That's
No,
what
he
I'm saying.
wasn't.
And he
No,
literally,
he wasn't.
he even brought up the missile industry.
All right,
yeah, but he made a caveat that no, we do have them, but not for certain roles. And then he went on to say that you can't just pull somebody off unemployment and put them into certain roles, which is true.
In a factory. That's exactly what he said.
You could say
in a factory.
Whatever you can say a bad example. But it is.
But hold on a
valid
second.
Point.
He did say he can't pull a person off the unemployment line to put him in the factory to make missiles to whatever.
He was referring. Yeah, you know what? You know what missiles take? Missiles also take IT work to do, right? What he was referring to was IT workers. You guys are just stretching it out to make it seem.
Hold on a second. If he was gonna say IT workers, why didn't he just use the fucking word IT workers?
Because he doesn't fucking use the right words all the time.
Well, so we gotta say, okay, maybe he meant this.
Trump
maybe
interpreter.
He meant that.
You know,
right?
I've met
I've
met more Trump interpreters on TikTok than in my entire life, because every person that comes up here, they always have to speak for him because it's never what he's actually said; it's what they say he said.
Right, Trump
well, that's
says
why I brought up the blind
factories
people hoax,
making
because this has been a
but
thing.
he actually means IT.
This specific
Right, is not the missile or the gunpowder. Don't disregard
He said
those terms.
He said factory making missiles, but what he actually means is IT. Yeah.
And computers and wires.
The missiles require IT knowledge to develop. All right, that's what he's referring to. Okay, you guys are just
what?
No, he's
oh
just
my
a
God!
fucking moron.
Okay, so you need a degree to work in a factory?
Hey, Potivity, is Trump a Russian agent?
Likely.
Did he work with Russia?
Because
likely. Was he shot? Hey, hold on. Was he shot?
Frankly,
was he shot, ma'am?
Okay,
Frankly,
no,
I don't think
you don't need to ask the same question.
Also?
Hold on, you don't need to ask the same question 12 times. When
right?
you don't even allow her a chance, hold
effort.
on. You ask her a question,
yeah,
and
you
then
believe all
she
of
gets like 4 words in, and then you ask her a different question, and then continue to ask her that same different question. Please don't do that.
Well, she confirmed she's a conspiracy theorist when she said that he's a Russian agent.
That's
and
fine.
Let because she's blue
answer.
She's low IQ. She's
you
a libtard.
confirm.
Okay, let
that
her
you
answer.
Believe all the Steve Bannon.
You gotta let him go, dude. He said that word, buddy.
What happened?
No. What I believe is that you guys push so many fake stories, and you don't know what you're
they're
talking
not
about.
fake stories.
What
and
did he say?
If you look at Trump's actions,
the Trump Russia thing was a hoax. Trump did not work with Russia. You guys need to own up to this fact.
Okay, hold on real quick.
He could not do more for Russia.
Okay, hold on.
If he was a Russian agent.
Potivity, hold on real quick. TikTok, stop interrupting, please. You asked this woman a question. She is trying to answer, and you keep interrupting her answer. If you don't want to hear the answer, don't ask the question. Potivity, please.
Well, she answered it right away. And she confirmed that
she is allowed to. She is a
Russian agent.
Holy shit, my guy!
Another one of
holy
shut
shit!
Up, dude.
Let her
TT
finish.
Sucks. TT sucks.
Let's talk about the pipe bomber, by the way. That's why I came up. Isn't that amazing? They didn't find them for so long. How did they not find the pipe bomber?
Okay, stop, dude. Stop. Just wait. My God.
Let's talk about the pipe bomber and the J6 hoax.
Listen, you're not running this panel. We're not doing everything that you tell us to do. That's not happening. Stop interrupting or I'm just going to drop you because at this point you're irritating me. I'd rather you stay, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Let her answer. Let her answer. Fuck, she's not done yet. Please go ahead,
No, she answered. She answered in 1 second.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just one of those like bros that never gets laid, so he hates women.
I'm a sex haver, actually. And you answered my question in half a second. I'm sorry that you're a lower functioning person.
Oh, I'm
So
a
can we talk about the
lower
J6 hoax?
functioning
Can we talk about how they
person.
lied and they
You're
covered
low
up the pipe bomber
Wait, okay. The J6 hoax. We all watched it live on television, man. If you think that was a hoax, I'm sorry. Then aren't you the one that's decoding for Trump?
Hey, well, host.
The guy that tells us that Trump means something else than other what he said, complete and totally different words. And you're you're talking about a hoax.
The media misconstrues his words and lies.
Do you believe that Ping Pong Pizza was a distribution network for children?
Why would you bring that up? I want to talk about how the
I'm just asking because I want to see where the baseline is here. Do you think that Ping Pong Pizza was a distribution center for child trafficking?
Was there even a basement?
Well, somebody with a pew-pew went in there to find out, and what did they find out?
Well, where was the basement?
What did they find out?
I want to know.
What did that guy that went in there thinking that he was saving kids, what did he discover?
That's kind of weird that you bring this up because I think the Epstein stuff is intimately
You brought
tied
up
to
hoaxes, and you're the one that's decoding what Donald Trump says and not repeating what he says. You're just decoding what you want him to say.
They lied about J6 and they covered up the pipe bomber because it exposes the fact that it's a hoax. They knew who the pipe bomber was, and they did not. They think about that.
Where's
Think
your
about it for a
okay?
second.
Hold up. Pull up your evidence. Pull up your evidence.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you
that the U.S. government knew who the pipe boomer was. Pull that up, please.
Absolutely, they tracked them to their car. They had their license plate 4 years ago.
Show me.
So
Show me.
tell me. You tell me.
Show me.
How did they not?
No. Show me.
You tell me.
Show me the proof that you have of that. They arrested somebody today, but you just claimed. Hold on. You just claimed that the government has known who it was the whole time. I want you to show me that. Go ahead, pull it up. Give me a link. Drop it in the chat. I will pull it up here. We will read that shit together.
Yeah, it's your background. So for 4 years, the Biden DOJ somehow did not find the bomber, and now they have found them. So why is that? You tell me.
Now they have found them.
They're on the phone.
They have found them.
Phone. Right, so they were on the phone that day. They tracked everybody else, and somehow they didn't track a person that left bombs.
Okay, so
I'm being retarded and fucking explain that.
Okay, well, you can't say the R word. Okay, and there it goes. You just got me disconnected, so you're gone. Yeah, your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because TikTok sucks does not comply with our community guidelines. So cool.
Right. I was trying, hey, liberal, man. I was trying to tell you. He kept on saying that R word, man.
Well, he said libtard earlier.
Well, my question is, what was his claim? Oh, they captured the pipe bomber. That means J6 never happened. Is that what his claim is? Like,
yes, that's his claim.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
Well, and you got to think this is a guy that just listened to Donald Trump talk about hiring people for missiles, and he interprets that as IT work. So, I mean, can we take anything that he says seriously at that point? What I want to know is what were they actually eating? If it wasn't cats and dogs, what were they eating?
No, first
they were eating pizza from Ping Pong Pizza. That's what
you're lumping me up with that guy, which is
no, I'm not.
Dude, yeah, you are.
How?
I brought up the IT thing. That guy was totally separate on his own.
Oh, did he not say that? I thought. Well, still, that's ridiculous.
Well, no, he was bringing up the pizza shit, which is ridiculous.
No. I brought up the pizza thing, but that was just more funny. I was just razzing the guy because it's ridiculous.
Well, the pizza.
He brought up He called J6 a hoax. Okay.
All right. Well,
that's where that started with him.
All right, J6 was not a host.
His evidence was that they found the pipe bomber. J6 never happened, even though it happened on live TV. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know about that.
And about the Mueller report, maybe people should read that Mueller report and really read it.
Yeah, probably not, because he
and learn about who Roger Stone is too.
Right. I disagree.
And see what they really found in it. Why is Donald Trump? Here's another thing. Hold on, liberal. Hey, here's another thing. Why is Donald Trump trying to block the second part of Jack Smith's report? Why is he trying to block that, man?
I didn't see that.
Political reasons.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's trying to block the second report of Jack Smith's.
You guys that believe Trump are crazy, because if Trump was doing what you guys actually believe he's doing, like he's saving the country and he's doing all this stuff, we would be totally on board with him. What makes you think we would fight him and berate him if he was actually like dismantling corruption?
Because you guys,
great point. Hold on,
fact,
I got another. It says remove TikTok sucks. Like, bitch, he's been gone for 5 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Positivity. Finish your thought.
So it's like you believe that half of America hates Donald Trump because he's trying to root out corruption in our government. Like, that's absolutely insane.
The reason why is because we feel that you guys don't agree with
Allie.
Because you believe in drag shows and in certain other things like T people and all this stuff where we are not 100% on board.
What we believe in,
that's why there's a
let people live their life.
You know what
the
we
way they
believe in,
choose to.
Cancel? We believe in freedom of expression. We believe that people have 80 years to live the way that they feel is best and is going to make them happiness. We believe in the pursuit of happiness, however that happens for you.
You're not living
except if
in
you're
reality.
harming children.
And
you conservatives, like there were 75 conservatives charged with child trafficking crimes in October. That's just
you're
October.
Not living in reality.
The fact is, you guys elected a
living in an
idealistic
society
to
that
the highest office in the land.
Okay.
You ignore all child trafficking, and you protect your child trafficking president, who just got charged with a new case in Florida, where I believe.
Okay. Positivity. Go and land your plane.
You guys are the demons that you accuse us of being. We're just trying to have a society where we actually follow the Constitution, and you guys are breaking the Constitution.
You're talking over me and not understanding
radio.
And that,
Cancel. Go ahead.
Oh, projection.
Here, you know what? I'm going to bring in. I'm bringing in the timer. Fuck it. We'll bring in the timer. We can't. Okay, Cancel.
All right, well, can we up it from 0?
Yes, so up it from 0. No, this is your time. Go. No, I'm just kidding. Go for it.
No, all right, the point I'm trying to make is that there are certain things that we disagree with, and that you guys, for some reason have, we feel that those certain points, right? The tea thing, the drag shows, all that shit is not part of our culture. It's not what we want for ourselves. And then we could agree on a lot of other.
Go to them.
38 seconds.
Hold on. He's got a timer. I'm going to add your time back.
We may not agree on those points, but we can agree on other points. And you guys just won't give up those talking points, and that is the issue that I think that we have.
You know what?
It's not us with those talking points. It's you that are with those talking points. It's you guys that have those talking points and continue to bring them up.
Holy shit. Guys, he still has 25 seconds. Are you done? If you're done with your time before...
I'm done.
Okay, just say you yield if you're done before your timer is up. That way I know to go on to the next person.
I yield.
Now, Positivity, I'm going to give you rebuttal time. So you have 45 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Democrats never, ever, 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 ever bring up trans issues. We never do. It's you guys that say, oh, trans people, oh, but trans people. And liberals are trying to push trans people on society. They're going to send your kids to school and they're going to remove their penises. Like, that's your president that said that. That's a stupid thing to say. Have you ever asked a teacher for a pencil? You can't even get a pencil from a teacher, much less get your penis removed. So that is the fear mongering that they're doing to get you to vote conservative.
Holy shit, that ticking is loud. Let me turn that shit down. Wow, that's really loud. Thank you, Positivity. Okay, so I'm going to get around the room. I'm going to go left to right. I'll be skipping cancel after I get through with Danny. Danny, go ahead.
All right, so first off, man, this administration is a fucking joke. Now we're going after the Somalians up in Minnesota and other places in this country. And about the T groups, it amazes me that, listen, I'm a progressive, man, and I go through my day. I never think about the T groups in this country.
Oh God!
The T
Let me pause
people in
real
this
quick.
country.
Let me pause real quick.
But
One second. I paused your time. I'll give you back your 5 seconds. Violation by Poetivity. Poetivity's live content is flagged for misinformation, so I've got to drop you, Poet.
Oh my God! I didn't give any misinformation.
Give it like 20 minutes or so, and try to come back up if you'd like. I'll open a slot for you. Guesting your live is violated misinformation policy. Okay, I remember. Okay. Well, that's last night we were having this issue too on Laura's live where people that didn't even say anything were getting dropped for misinformation. Seriously, it was fucking weird. Go ahead, Danny. I gave your time back. Go ahead.
All right, so back onto the T people, man. I go through my day. I never think about those types of people because I don't really give a shit, man. But every time I come up into a live, a Republican man always brings them up, and I just want this answer. Why? Why do you guys got these people living in your fucking head that much?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think this should be a topic at all, ever. Because it's just such a small percentage of the population that it's not deserving of the time of day to talk or discuss about it. I agree with you.
Right. We're talking about 1.001% of the population.
I think I know why.
Man.
I think I know why, because statistically, if you go to the corn habits in certain states, in red states, trans is one of the top searched corn types. So when they come up on these panels, they probably had just finished looking up their favorite corn, and that's why they bring it up.
Bro, dude, come on.
Nadia. Nadia. Well, did you want to land your plane? Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, let me land. So the thing is this. How about you just let people live their fucking lives the way they choose to? As long as they're not hurting anybody, robbing from people, doing whatever, let them live their life. It's not affecting your job. It's not affecting your ability to do what you want to do in life. Leave them alone, dude.
Danny,
I agree, Danny. Life, man.
Danny, I agree with you, but I also understand how this party works, right? You have to placate to certain aspects of it, and this is one of those aspects, man. It's just something. It's just a part of it, right? That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, let me get to Nadia. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Nadia, go ahead.
Hi, Liberal. Thanks for having me up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the Palm Beach lawsuit that just came out and just hear everyone's opinion on that. So there's a new lawsuit against Trump, specifically Trump, involved in activities that paralleled Epstein's case. So what does everyone think about that? Do they think it's a viable lawsuit, and is he going down?
Is that the trafficking thing that I had read about?
$310 million one in Boca, Palm Beach. It was in the Boca News.
Yeah, so I didn't read too deep into what I was seeing. So explain it to us, please. What is accused of?
Well, I don't know a lot. I know it's a $310 million lawsuit, and it indicts who does it allege was involved? Bill Gates, Trump, and Musk.
Okay, yeah. I think I did see something about that, but I didn't look too deep into it.
Does anyone on the panel know anything about it, or have they read this?
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. In a startling development, former President Trump has been hit with a $310 million lawsuit centered around allegations of trafficking operation reminiscent of the high-profile case involving J.E. Lawsuit was filed November 24th at a location notable for Mar-a-Lago. The case, which has been reported by Boca News Now, maintains confidentiality for plaintiffs by redacting their names. And you know what? Let me pull this up so you guys can see that I'm where I'm reading it from. Let's see here. The lawsuit outlines an 8-year trafficking and exploitation venture that purports to have commenced in 2018 and to have intensified under Trump's administration. It accuses the defendants of using tactics such as physical intimidation, financial harm, confinement, fraud, and deceit to exploit plaintiffs' creative works and intellectual property. Particularly alarming are the claims that Trump groomed the lead plaintiff since 1998, the year of her birth. The lawsuit further alleges that he utilized the Gates Foundation as a cover and silencing mechanism to perpetuate ongoing operations, which reportedly included coordinated sexual assaults. Plaintiff stated that in retaliation for filing the lawsuit, her infant daughter was taken from her in action described as having tactics identical in every material respect to those employed by Epstein. In an additional layer of severity, the lawsuit indicates that between 2023 and 2025, there were 5 attempts on the plaintiff's life, which involved various methods, including poisoning, vehicular assaults, and orchestrated physical attacks designed to appear accidental. Alongside massive payouts sought, which includes over $134 million earmarked for legal fees. Plaintiffs requesting injunctive relief that includes the immediate restoration of full legal and physical custody of the lead plaintiff's daughter. Complaint raises serious questions about systemic issues surrounding trafficking and alleged complicity of various influential figures, hinting at broader implications for public figures and their roles in such matters. Yeah, I did read this, but it's, there's no detailed information. It was very broad what I had read too. I'll just have to wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, thanks for reading it though, because that was more information than I had. Someone in the chat just said that sounds exactly like Katie Johnson's case. She did not unalive herself. She was of sound mind.
Right? I don't think so either. I agree with you.
So I think Trump's going down. I think this one is aimed directly at him. And this should be interesting. So I just wanted to bring it up and see if anyone knew more about it.
Yeah, and the Bill Gates aspect to it, I wonder to what degree that was brought in, because there have been a lot of questions about that foundation for a long time. Of course, a lot of us chalk it up as conspiracy, but when Bill Gates came out and turned around and said, oh, global warming isn't that big of a deal, I'm like, okay, this guy can't be taken seriously. He railed for years about global warming and climate change being the biggest problem, and then all of a sudden, when it's convenient for him, he decides to just write an article saying that it wasn't a big deal. I don't know. So maybe he's involved in some shenanigans. I know his wife, I believe Melinda's her name, when she found out that he was hanging around with Epstein, she fucking lost her shit, rightfully so.
Because of Melinda divorced him after all that.
Disgusted her. Yeah. And because he knew what Epstein was. Oh, he's trying to raise money. Bitch, get out of here with that. Raising money from a fucking trafficker? You disgusting puke. So, yeah, I mean, Bill Gates has got all the, I don't know, he's always looked a little creepy to me.
Right on, man, trying to get money from, please, Bull, you know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking.
Bill Gates did not have anything. I think you're wrong about that. Do save like hundreds of millions of lives, really?
He personally saved millions of lives.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Bill Gates Foundation.
Right. Here's the thing about that, man.
There's nothing about that.
Things people do good doesn't mean they can't do things bad.
That's right.
Yeah, but he saved over millions of lives, and you're going to come up here and try to say he's involved with some bullshit? Like, come on.
Wait. Okay, so are you saying that because you do good deeds, like that other person said, that we can't talk about your bad deeds?
If he saved 50 million lives and he killed, 3 people's lives, I think that they get a pass.
That is an insane argument to me.
That's not an insane
pedophile.
argument.
You're
Wait. How dare
children,
you point
so that
out
means it's a pass? Give him a pass?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Like what?
Bro, it's not an insane take to think that somebody who saves millions of lives, if they, in which we don't even know, but I'm saying if he did kill 3 people, not a big deal because he saved 50 million lives.
I don't even buy the 50 million lives saved.
I'm so glad I'm a spiritual person.
He does.
What if one of those people were your relative?
No.
What if they were your mother or your father that they killed, and he saved all those people, but he killed one of them?
You know what?
Unalived one of them. Unalived one of them.
From a
what
purely
would you do?
unbiased perspective, where I can see what is done for the better overall good of the world, then
you wouldn't care.
It is what it is.
So how many lives do you have to save to excuse a life that you murder or you sexually assault? Can you tell me that number?
No, there is a number, dude. I mean, come on. There's not a number that you can specify. But what I'm saying
I've saved people's lives before, literally. Like actually, I saved, not just I wrote it down on PR. At least 2. Possibly 3. I don't know if the third one would have unalived, but the other 2 would have.
Well, then
do I get to like murder and stuff?
No, you don't. No. You have 50 million more to go, which is what he did.
What the fuck is this, y'all? Okay,
right, I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Okay,
fair enough. Okay, well let me get around the room. For the record, you do have some serious background noise. I don't know what it is, but are you on like a headset or something?
Actually, I have AirPods. I should probably use it.
Okay, yeah, because I like it. It's not really echo. It's just I don't know. I can hear a lot of crap going on in the background. It's that's why sometimes you'll find that you're muted because I'll just mute you.
I'll get my AirPods. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. Now Palestinian, are you there? I think Palestinian may be a non-English speaker. Palestinian. I'll come back to Palestinian. Gnagaswar, can you pronounce that for me? I'm sure I butchered that.
It's Gina Gazer.
Gina. I wasn't even close. Go ahead, Gina.
No, not at all. I usually, that was bad. But anyhow.
It was terrible.
It was terrible, but it's cool. I've been called worse, needless to say. But I just wanted to say real quick, Amy Coney Barrett and Ketanji Jackson Brown. Amy Coney Barrett never tried a case in her life. Never tried a case, and she is a Supreme Court judge. Never, not once. Okay? So to say that Ketanji Brown was unqualified is ludicrous, number 1. Number 2, the last person to have seen Jeffrey Epstein in the jail cell before he unalived himself was Bill Barr, okay? Bill Barr was also the one that with the Russian hoax, quote unquote, turned around and said what he said that made it irrelevant after he had said it. That there was no, what do I want to say? He didn't do anything wrong, okay? Trump is definitely a Russian operative, if you want to know the truth, in my opinion. That's my opinion, though. I don't know.
You think
that's going to get me in trouble?
Trump is an operative Russian, or?
I think he's been schooled by them for a long time, and I think he knows exactly. He wants. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I've said that before on this show. Of course, it's speculation, obviously, but yeah, there's a lot of evidence that point me in that way. So I don't disagree with you.
Too.
Yep.
And as far as that, it wasn't Katie Johnson that unalived herself. It was Virginia Giuffre that unalived herself. And do I believe that she did that? No, I do not. And as far as that, what the woman said about when you read that article, wasn't Stormy Daniels, wasn't her daughter and herself, weren't they threatened through the course of the time that they were doing what they were doing with the lawsuit and everything?
I mean,
when,
probably, but I don't specifically
she had said
remember.
that.
Let me look it up. But you're probably right, because everybody that comes out against Trump gets threatened.
Exactly.
Liberal. First of all, Trump hasn't placated to all of Russia's demands, right? So I don't think that he's a Russian agent. First of all.
Well,
right.
I mean, that's a fair point. One day, Putin told him to make him coffee, and Trump didn't get around to it. So I think you're right. You have a good point. If you don't make coffee for your master, then obviously you're not a.
There's
you're
another
not a,
point where I think that the deal that he made, which is probably what you're thinking of, right, where he is giving land to Russia, is just a realistic take where they can't. Where it's just a small country fighting a larger country, where he can't, where I think he's making a deal that makes sense for what's going on there, and that's all.
It doesn't even concern him.
The Russian plan that Trump adopted is good for who?
No. It's the only realistic take because obviously Russia has more military power than Ukraine does, and they have already they've already attained more land. All that Trump is doing is giving them the land that they've already conquered, and there's nothing. I personally don't think that there's anything you can do.
So if a country can take over another country, they should be allowed to.
Should they be allowed to is a different question. No, I think it's the reality of the situation.
But no, it's not a different question. You're saying that you're suggesting that Ukraine should give up land, correct?
I think they have to, otherwise they lose the entire country.
Which is why I asked the question. Do you believe that because another country can, that they can take land, and that's acceptable?
I mean, we've done it through all of history, so sure, why not? I mean, that's how we became America, right?
Through European colonialism, correct. And that's how Europeans dominated over 90% of this globe. You're right. But that wasn't right, was it? 90% of the indigenous on this land were unallied by Europeans, either directly or indirectly. That is not good.
Right or wrong. I'm not arguing that it's right.
If it's wrong,
that this is what is going to happen, and this is what has historically happened. That's all I'm arguing.
Historically, but we're talking about today. We're not talking about what happened years ago. We're talking about what's happening right now. And if you believe that it's wrong, then why would you sit there and be like, "Well, it's fine. We've done it before. It's okay." I don't get that.
Let me ask you a question. Does Trump have anything to do?
It's not inevitable. It's not inevitable.
It's not Trump's land.
Well, hold on.
It's not Trump's land that he's giving up.
Right. It's not inevitable, cancel culture. We made an agreement. No, hold on. We made an agreement with this country that if they gave up their nuclear arms, they were, I think, the third largest nuclear power when the Soviet Union collapsed. That's a fact. They gave that up in exchange for an agreement that we would protect them. And here we are reneging on that agreement. And you're like, it's okay. It's not inevitable. We can continue to fund their defense of their own country because we said that we would.
We need boots on the ground if you really want to make change, and we are not going to put boots on the ground.
We don't need boots on the ground.
Bro, money is not going to solve the issue. Russia
never said that it would.
I know, but like it's inevitable. So here's the point.
It's not inevitable. It's not inevitable.
Here's the point. The point that I'm trying to make is that what Trump had agreed to is ending the war. That's what all he wants, right? That's all he wants in his repertoire.
By giving up somebody else's land.
Right. Well, I'm going to end the war. Yeah, let me end the war by saying you have to give up your country. What the fuck are we even talking about, man?
You have to turn around and disregard all the people that were unalived through the course of all this time.
Well, hear me out. Listen,
that were fighting for their
they
land.
Give up 30% of the country, and then you know what? They can shore up their defenses during the time spent, where they have peace. Look.
But dude, that's not what that agreement said. What that agreement said was that it would limit their ability to defend themselves. It limited their military, the numbers that they could have. That's what that agreement would do. It said they couldn't do certain things. It was essentially what we did to Japan, rewriting their laws and shit and giving control over Ukraine to the United States and Russia. That is not beneficial to Ukraine. Ukraine is fighting for its sovereignty, its ability to exist as a nation, which I find interesting because, same people that think that Israel has a right to, to exist as an ethno-Jewish state are over here, saying, no, Ukraine's you got to give up your land. Like, what the fuck?
Well, first of all, I don't subscribe to that opinion, first of all.
Well, thank God for that.
I hear what you're saying. I did not know that that's what the agreement called for. I thought it was just giving up 30% of the land. I did not know it was calling for a reduction in military.
Limited to 600,000 troops. Limited them to 600,000 troops. Prevented them from doing certain defensive things. It allowed the United States corporations to come in and mine shit. Yes. And Russia. And it also allowed Russia to be brought back into the G20. It was a huge hand job to Vladimir Putin.
First of all, the mining deal was set beforehand, right? That was set like before wherever we're at now, right? That mining deal, I remember reading about it like a few months ago.
I mean,
right? But that's not part of this deal.
That was an agreement that wasn't under duress, though. This is under duress. You're holding somebody over a barrel and saying, give me, give me, give me.
Look, dude, overall, what I truly believe and what I feel is that, yeah, we should fully fund them. We should be sending them all of our weaponry. I don't think Russia should be taking over Ukraine. Look, I believe that. I truly do believe that. But
well, fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's.
I feel like it's not realistic. I feel like it's not something that we can do. I feel like it's not something that's going to happen, right? So that's the only reason why I'm
what's happening this whole fucking time. I'm confused. Right.
At one point, it wasn't realistic.
Pyre, hold on, because Get Outside has been here much, much longer, and Get Outside has not spoken. So let me get to Get Outside. Cancel. Let me move on to Get Outside. Yeah. Go ahead, Outside. Get Outside. You are muted. Let me invite. There you go.
Yeah. No, I mean. For what I wanted to talk about, I kind of had to backtrack a little bit, but they were. You all have covered so many topics but the one guy had brought up about not paying any attention to any of this group or that group their whole life. Most people don't, but where it comes into play is sport and stuff like that. And again, everybody's going to say, well, it's such a small percentage. But if you had a child that works their whole life to be an elite athlete in a sport, and now all of a sudden somebody else can come along and say, I'm a woman, and then participate in that sport and just completely do away with their accomplishment and their hard work all their life, yes, people would be upset. And if you want to live your life and you want to live your life that way, then that's fine. But with every choice that you make, there is a consequence, no matter what it is, no matter what's good or bad. You get up in the morning and pick your shoes that you put on your feet. Every choice you make has a consequence. Live your life the way you want, but now you're not going to participate against biological women in sport.
Jesus fucking Christ, that is what you chose to say. I'm so sorry, but you chose
well,
to listen. You're talking about politics.
To be fair, Pyre, hold on. To be fair, he had requested up, and he's been sitting up here for a long time, and we were talking about that. So he's just going back to a conversation we had like 10 or 15 minutes ago.
I've been listening to all the stupid shit that's been said on here this whole time.
Not saying I agree with what he said. I'm just saying it makes sense why he brought it up.
What drag shows and transgender people have to do with fucking politics? We're sitting here talking about politics.
Did I say anything about drag shows? Did I say drag
talk
shows?
about politics.
Listen.
And not
Hold on.
Open your ears
Outside.
and
stupid
listen.
Okay.
William
Okay.
redneck backwoods
Hill
fuck.
William. Okay. Yeah, get outside. Let me. I'm going to give her time back. Just let her say what she needs to say. Go ahead.
Well, can I do to her like the rude ass, backwater, stupid ass bitch that she is? Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Until my fucking timer's up,
Okay.
Bubba Joe.
Okay. Let me time out for everybody, guys. We were having a decent discussion here. Let's not get into that because I can't even hear. By the way, outside there may be something wrong with your mic. You may be talking too loud because when it gets distorted when you get kind of loud.
Well, you need to back the fuck up from your mic.
Yeah, you might pull away from it because it makes a like scratchy sound. But anyway, let her respond to what you said or to whatever she wants to say, and then I'll let you rebut what she says. I'll go back.
First
to
of all, stop
Go
eating
ahead,
your
Pirate.
phone and actually get outside. Like, you need to back the fuck up several feet away from your fucking phone. Okay? I don't like, cool. Let's see. The people that bought up fucking transgender people and drag shows earlier, because I was in here earlier, they're just as fucking stupid. They're just as fucking backwood and fucking dumb. If you're having a conversation about geopolitics and politics, speak about politics and geopolitics. Being transgender has nothing to do with fucking politics. If you're not smart enough to talk about Russia and Ukraine in a meaningful way, then just drop when the topic changes. Because if you're not smart enough to talk about the topic, then don't talk about the topic. You didn't seem smart enough to speak about geopolitics and to like make a meaningful argument about anything that had to do with Russia or Ukraine. So you said, well, I need to talk about them transgender people in sports. And my daddy told me I'm trying to talk through a mouthful of his gum that
Okay.
people that are men can't be women.
Okay. Okay.
Dude, you're fucking
Okay.
You did
Okay.
the smart when you stupid
Okay.
ass bitch.
Okay.
It was one of your own
Hold
people.
on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Get outside. Hold on for a second. I'm going to give you a rebuttal timer, okay? I was going to let her land her plane, but I know you want to respond. Go ahead. 45-second rebuttal. Go ahead outside. And again, pull away from your mic because it is scratching when you get loud. It's like it sounds pretty rough. Not gonna lie.
I won't get loud as long as she keeps her mouth shut, but I'm sure she can't because she's just a rude ass bitch from God only knows where that automatically thinks that she's smarter than everybody else. See, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Hold on.
Stupid people do stupid shit. I didn't interrupt her. Did I interrupt her? With her whole dumbass tirade? It was your boy Dan, what's his name? DANN. I'll say Dan, that even brought that up in the first place. So that shows you how fucking smart you are, dumbass.
It wasn't, it was cancel culture.
No, it wasn't. He responded to what the other guy said, stupid ass. Why don't you listen instead of listen to argue,
It was
you dumb
cancel culture
fuck?
that brought it up the first time. I know because I was here and I was
Why don't
listening
you
with
listen
my
to
ears.
listen? See, again, stupid people
time's
want to
up.
keep interrupting.
Okay, so we've established absolutely nothing here. But again, get outside. You made your point. Pyre, you made your point. Now it's time for a PSA. I don't know where to go from there, but guys, we've got 90 people in here. We're at 40K. Let's get to 50K. We're actually doing very, very well. So thank you to the people in the comments who have been tapping. Like, holy shit, we've been live for just almost 2 hours now at 50K. That's really good on a good roll here. I do have a gifting goal of 50 hats. If you want to support the show, send some hats or to my Crash app in my Vimo. I am just over halfway to my live goal for today. So $ Lib Loudmouth on Crash App and at Lib Loudmouth on Vimo if you want to send some support that way. I'd appreciate it. And now we're going to start back over top left box and we're going to go back around. Thank you guys. Data, welcome in. Go ahead.
Yeah, how's it going, Liberal? Thanks for inviting me up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here listening. I don't know about the trans issue, or I'm not educated enough on the Russian-Ukraine conflict to take an informed opinion on that. It does seem like it, in my simpleton opinion, that a lot of that conflict seems to be over oil, as it usually is. The indigenous people was another. Indians was another thing that came up. Yeah, this land was definitely stolen. I read a really awesome article a while ago. It's something along the lines of how an international tribunal, 70 years in the making, has found the U.S. guilty of 5 separate genocides. So this is an international tribunal of professors and scholars and shit. Like I said, they have found the U.S. guilty of 5 separate genocides, including the indigenous and the African Americans, and it's a pretty interesting read.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me up.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here because you were on Laura's panel last night, weren't you? Also,
Yeah. Met you last night. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming up.
Oil.
Yeah, who said what now?
This guy is thinking that the Ukraine war is about oil. It has nothing to do with oil. This guy's.
They have a lot of resources, though. So I mean, you know,
yes, but not oil. But
yeah.
If
I mean,
like,
it's fair.
I could expand a little bit on that. Again, it is
Well,
a
no,
simple
there's nothing to expand. There's no oil.
Well, I guess if you don't want me to talk, I won't. But
yeah. So well, it'd be Danny's turn now. But Data, yeah, I'll get back to you, and I'll allow rebuttals again. Danny, go ahead. Danny, going once.
I'll speak on behalf of Danny. What Danny was trying to say was, there's nothing to do with fucking oil, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is a resource thing, which they have some precious metals. Yes, I agree. And that's pretty much all it is. And I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, this Native American thing, which has nothing to do with politics or anything right now. So.
Okay, you got 40 seconds left.
I'm going to go ahead, Data, if you don't, I mean, if you're going to rebuttal, I don't know if you're going to, but I understood what you said because I'm actually smart. So what Data was referring to were several reports on past genocides that the United States has been found guilty of, including the genocide against the Native Americans that were here before white people got here and colonized them. I hope this helps, buddy.
All right, should they have
now for the record,
about Ukraine real quick.
It has the second largest, I believe, reserve of natural gas in the world. So
they also have several large oil reserves.
Yeah, but
it also grows the most food.
Liberal, that natural gas reserve, I think Russia has a pretty good amount of that land area where it's held, right?
I'm just saying that they do have energy things related that some would. Oil and natural gas are often combined together because they can, they serve a lot of the same purposes. But it's just a point so people understand that there are things like that.
Again, from my simpleton understanding, Ukraine seems like a much more strategic position for them in terms of like being closer to like the Mediterranean Sea and a lot of things that are going on over there.
Well, and also being closer to NATO countries.
Yeah.
It's
very fertile too. Yes, agriculture is big in Ukraine. So
Ukraine doesn't have oil when it has been proven that Ukraine has several large oil reserves is wild to me. Like that.
But also,
if Russia
okay, let me get to Gina. Because Danny, are you there? Did you want to say something? Because when I went to you, you didn't respond.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm listening, man. I'm just gonna listen for a minute. I'll come in again.
Okay, all right. Well, then, Gina, it'll be your go. Go ahead.
Thanks. Ukraine also is. What did I want to say now? Oh, it was part of the USSR. And that's what Putin is out to do, is to rebuild the USSR. It's even beyond the metals and the oil and everything else for Putin. It's about fulfilling what he wants, just like Netanyahu. His whole idea was to do exactly what he's doing with Gaza and stuff. That was his whole, not building a casino, not building a tourist section, but just turning around and committing genocide. Okay, that's what Netanyahu was doing, and that's basically what Putin wants to do is turn around and just make Ukraine part of the USSR again. He wants to bring that back together,
Look,
which is Russia.
Let's
Okay.
say Russia takes over Ukraine, right?
I'm not done. I'm not done.
All right,
Number
fine.
two, as far as T's in sports, to know about sports or politics, geopolitics, like Pyre said, you have to also know that trans don't, when you're transitioning, they lose their testosterone and have more estrogen, and they are women by the time they are women once they transition. And so, I mean, I don't know what the big problem is about.
Because that's incorrect.
That is not incorrect. That is not
That is
incorrect. I have a
incorrect.
friend of mine that
There was a
transitioned,
study.
and
There
she
is a
comes up
study.
as a female, a complete
There
female.
is a
That is not.
study.
She
There is
is
a
considered a
study.
complete female.
Okay, so
Her
there
blood
is a
shows
2-year study.
female.
Is that
There's a
outside? Okay,
2-year
go ahead,
study.
outside.
There is a 2-year study in the National Library that women transitioning to men picked up 13% muscle mass over 2 years. Men transitioning to women lost 4% muscle mass over 2 years. So you were talking about elite athletes, not your everyday run-in-the-mill person. An elite athlete just lost 4% of their muscle mass.
Well, an elite athlete should be
That
elite
is
enough to
way
be a
more.
winner, shouldn't they? If they're
Well,
elite.
Gina,
yes, an elite male, yes, should be able to be an elite male
If we're
athlete.
gonna get
An
him to
elite
back up from his
female
mic,
should
because
be
the feedback is
an elite
crazy.
Okay, hold on, guys. It is outside's
and
timer. Let me give you some
an
time
elite
back.
female should be able to be an elite female, right?
Well, I don't
And
know.
as far
Why
as
should that be the matter?
because it's a
If
big
you're
match.
elite, you should be able to. Billie Jean King did
Billie Jean
play
King
tennis with a guy.
beat one person. That's Billie
Billie
Jean
Jean
King.
King did.
And if you want to talk about the best woman tennis
And
player of all
golfer.
time, Venus Williams will tell you I couldn't beat the top 100 people.
Gina, people don't think this way as a large population. Like this is a
Because
very
they aren't informed.
Well,
they're not knowledgeable of
I'm
it.
just saying you're talking to a very small percentage, probably the same percentage as there are T people who view this thing. A lot of people don't give a fuck.
Okay,
And the ones that don't give a fuck shouldn't be bringing it up all the time like the Republicans
I
do.
know, but
and
don't
make it as to make it a social
engage in it
issue,
either.
to make
Don't
it a
engage in it.
problem.
Yeah, but Gina,
If you don't give a fuck, why you bring it up?
Okay,
Could I
so
just ask-
well, let me get so Pyre. It'd be Pyre's turn, and I'll get to you, Data. Pyre, go ahead if you'd like, or you can defer to Data. Up to you.
Defer to Data. Did he have something to say? I was just so I'd like to clarify something about Ukraine, because we were talking about, actual politics. Again, can we bring it back? Jesus Christ, your obsession with trans people is insane. Like wild. Drop it.
Fucking insane, dude. It drives me crazy, dude.
So in any case, to say that Ukraine doesn't have oil is wild, considering they have several large oil reserves, right? But to say that the Ukraine-Russia war is about oil is a little off, right? Because we're talking, yes, they have several large reserves, but what they have more than that are their natural minerals. And that is what people are after, because Ukraine is rich in industrial metals. And industrial metals are in very high demand right now, given the technology and running AI, and how we're looking at billionaires trying to buy their own personal fucking nuclear plants, for God's sake, to run this kind of technology. So while I don't think is it about oil, no, it is about things like reuniting the USSR and the natural metals, the industrial.
I'll give you the first place where it might be about the reuniting the USSR. It's not about fucking minerals. It's more so about reuniting the USSR, if anything, right? It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing that he has to accomplish this. If he does, but here's the thing: if he does not accomplish this, his entire life is a failure. So he will do anything to accomplish this, which is why we're on a losing end if we try to help Ukraine win. We can't help them win. This guy's on an ego trip.
America just has a pretty consistent track record of destabilizing places for their own benefit, whether it's for resources or geopolitical advantage or whatever it is. So it's usually about resources and then as far as the trans thing, for anybody who might be concerned about that issue, like, I guess my question would be, like, does anybody know how many trans people there are in professional sports, or can you name one?
It's like 12.
100%. We already talked about this. Why is this a topic? This should not be a topic. We should not be talking about T people. Period. It's not. It's not.
I feel like Chris Crocker yelling about Britney Spears. Just leave trans people alone. Like, Jesus Christ.
Right? Fuck me, dude.
Okay.
Like, leave them. Like,
I guarantee you.
This was Data's time. And after this, I'll open it up so everybody can just talk freely. Hopefully not over people, but go ahead, Data.
I don't need a full minute. I just would propose that question to anybody who might be concerned about this. If you can't name a single trans athlete, then I don't know why you're concerned about this. And I'll
the swimmer lady. Everybody can name the swimmer lady. Everybody can name her.
What's the lady's name?
Everybody can name her. I personally can't, but everybody.
So everybody except you. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, Leah Thomas. There's her name.
There you go.
It's not the only one. There is Fallon. There's Fallon. I think Fallon's last name is Fox. That was wanting to be an MMA fighter, and she beat some woman so badly she beat her unrecognizable.
Dude,
Fallon Fox was a transgender. But you asked that question, so I answered it.
I know, but I asked it for a specific reason because everybody only knows that one person. Nobody knows anyone else. So the point being is that T people should not ever be a discussion, bro. If you were to stop talking about them, they would it would not be an issue tomorrow. Like it's 12 fucking people who do their own.
It's not 12 people.
It's only a discussion to people who are curious about it.
A discussion about people who are obsessive over it. And look, I'm not trying to. I guess I am trying to be rude to transphobes. Let's full stop. But right when we are speaking about politics, you are not speaking about politics if you're speaking about transgender people. You're speaking about people, and you're speaking about an identity. We were not speaking about identity politics. We were discussing actual, real fucking geopolitics.
Let me put this into perspective. Let me put this into perspective. The president of the NCAA even recently told Congress less than 10, and not all of them transgender women, of the more than 500,000 college athletes in the country are openly transgender. Less than 10.
Talking about this.
It's right. It is so irrelevant to anything in the country. I don't understand why it is a big deal. I don't get it. I really don't. And when we're talking about advantages, whenever we're talking about advantages, if we were to apply your logic to sports, Michael Phelps would not be allowed to compete. That man is just built differently. There aren't many people that can compete with him because physiologically he has a bigger wingspan, he has bigger feet, he has bigger lungs. I mean, this guy is like a physical freak, right? He has a competitive advantage over people just because he was born that way. And so if the argument is that we can't, have people in sports that make it disadvantaged to others, then we'd have to go through and also add metrics of your hands have to be a certain size or your feet have to, you know what I mean? And then you get into ridiculous things. Sure.
That's an elite male going against an elite male.
If the point is fairness,
See,
if that's
where
the point.
Difference is.
Okay, so what is the point? So what is the point?
The point is transgender people are not trying to build a Qatari air base on fucking U.S. soil. Trump is. Goddamn.
Yeah. Okay, you take Michael Phelps, though, right? If we're talking about, just sheer advantage.
Right, and you talk, okay.
I've got a study here.
They're 6 foot. Most of those guys, you know what made his heart bigger, his lungs bigger, him to carry more oxygen? Because he was willing to do what it was to become an elite male athlete, and he swam against other
he was born that
He
way.
was biologically that way.
No, he was born that way. Yeah, he
But
actually. Did you know
he is-
that man produces 50% less lactic acid than anybody else?
Yes.
And that is not through training.
Yes, I do.
That is
it's
a
not.
physiological just factor that nobody else has. And what that does is it prevents your muscles from tiring as fast because that's what the lactic
I know
acid
exactly what it
causes
is.
burn.
Just like
Right.
you.
So
Because
it's
Lance
a
Armstrong had a bigger heart.
disadvantage. It's a
Liberal,
disadvantage to others.
Lance Armstrong had a bigger heart. He was able to take in more oxygen at the beginning of his career. That was because he was born that way. He was able to ride a bike longer because he was born that way, not because he was an elite athlete.
That's right.
But
If
that's
we're
why
discussing advantages and
people are
disadvantages in the United
elite
States of
athletes.
America, guys,
Hey,
I think, and
liberal,
this
let
is
me
just
ask
my
you a question,
opinion, right?
buddy.
What's
Just as
that?
a humble woman trying to speak, if we're discussing advantages and disadvantages, just a humble soft,
We talk about
demure
Ukraine.
woman trying to speak. If we're discussing
yes, we can.
advantages and
Yes.
disadvantages in the United States, we should discuss the advantages that the 1% have over the 99, right? Because they're fucking unaliving us, and all people want to talk about are fucking transgender people.
Yo, host.
The transgender issue came up as a social issue in order to turn around and put people on edge. To say,
Yes.
a guy's going into your daughter's bathroom. It doesn't happen like that, dude.
Right.
It doesn't happen like that.
You also
You don't
play
even
a part
know.
in it.
You have stalls anyhow in women's bathrooms.
Listen.
I mean, what are you going to do? Look through the hole of the stall to see what they
Little
have?
slit.
Yeah, the little slit of the stall.
Gino.
You don't do
Hey,
that.
I got a question.
It was a
I'm
social
watching
issue that
you.
enraged people. It was a
Gino.
social issue that enraged
I see you
the-
taking
the-
your shit.
Exactly.
I got a
that
question.
it enraged the people that were the religious, that were the Bible thumpers, that were the prudes that want to burn books because they have one about two penguins that are dads, and then raise a little penguin that's their little boy. Okay, that's what it was about. It was all in order to put people up in arms. And you know who talks about it more than anybody? The ones that bring it up to begin with, the MAGA and the Republicans. They bring it up. Kamala Harris did not say one thing about transgender.
Guys,
Okay.
Bill Gates wants to buy
Okay,
3 Mile Island.
Somebody in bringing these topics up because you keep entertaining
You brought it up.
You
You
didn't
started
fucking
it
bring.
all.
Look, I said it in a
I don't know
passing
who
comment.
brought it up.
Anybody
I
else
don't
know
remember.
as to why Bill Gates
No,
wants
we
to buy
did.
3 Mile Island?
Hey, can I get my question in, man?
Yes. Somebody wanted to ask me a question. Go ahead.
Not you. All right. So here's the thing. What's more important to you in life, man? Is transgenders or the economy more important? Is healthcare more important than transgenders? Is fucking anything else and more important than that, man?
Dude, I'm the one who's saying we shouldn't be talking about this. So like, I'm not sure why you're.
That's true.
You're like.
All right. Oh, okay. So how about we do this? How about we try our hardest in this live to not talk about these people anymore, man?
Yeah, we can move
How about we
on.
just try to do that?
We can move on. That's it. And now Chip has been in for a minute. I don't think he's talked yet. Chip, did you want to
talk about Ukraine, please?
Yeah, I mean, well, Chip, go ahead. What were you wanting to bring up? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the social issues. I wanted to talk about what was the genesis of the Ukraine war. It's unfortunately, and again, if this is an example, unfortunately our media apparatus parrots a lot of the talking points of the establishment, the war machine, etc. Anybody can remember the WMD hoax. We were told WMD. I want you in your minds to equate the idea that Vladimir Putin wants to recreate the Soviet Union with the claims that Saddam Hussein was harboring weapons of mass destruction.
Look,
because they're both equally false.
Exactly.
Let me finish. I sat on my ass and didn't say anything forever. So let me finish. Okay, now there's a great book written about this subject. Anybody can look it up on Amazon. It's got him, Scott Horton, 880 pages. So it goes into vast amounts of detail supporting the claims. All the major professors that you follow on this issue will tell you the same thing, who don't have a bias towards the establishment. And this is the other side. I don't like the fact that this is the truth. It just is what it is. Russia's hand was forced. They were between a difficult rock and a bad, hard place. I'm not for Russia. I'm not against Russia. I'm simply stating their interests. Imagine for a second if a Chinese military alliance was trying to establish a connection up in Montreal, Quebec, and establish missile base allocations and other economic partnerships on our border. We probably would have a huge issue with that because our hemisphere is our hemisphere. Russia sees their national security interests no differently. Now, you may say that Ukraine's sovereign, da-da-da-da. So is Canada. So is Mexico. So is Cuba. So is Venezuela, which we're about to go and invade and depose their leader because we want to. And then we turn around and vilify another country's leadership who basically is trying to protect their people from an encroaching military alliance. The Russians have no desire and no intention to do anything outside of their borders. They never have. The only time they did so was after the United States kept poking them and poking them and poking them by fostering a fake revolution and by creating these terrible incidents where people got shot and unalive, and people were being boomed in the east of the country for over a decade, and 15,000 or so people died, and they still did nothing. And it was only after the United States was going to do a full-scale invasion prompted by the Azov Battalion in the right sector that they decided to finally stand up and invade as a preemptive attack. This is all prompted by U.S. interference and meddling. I wish it weren't the case.
No, it's not.
Well, I wish it weren't the case.
We can, even if it is the case that you're mentioning, right, we can still use that as an advantage to right, America's adversary is Russia. Why couldn't we send them?
No, that's a contrived adversary. That's the point.
Yeah, we kind of created that rivalry. We did fuck them over a lot over the years. We could have worked with them, but we did keep that boogeyman going. And eventually they were like, well, fuck you then. That's my reading of history on that, because, the U.S., for whatever reason, needed a boogeyman, so they chose them. But I don't disagree with,
Boris Yeltsin was
or I don't agree with what Chip
whatever
is saying, though.
Why it started is indifferent. Right now, they are an adversary, right? So we could be using Ukraine as leverage to hurt our adversary, right? Shouldn't we be doing that?
This is you have to distinguish
to say that Russia doesn't go outside of its borders is ludicrous. What it did,
Russia does not have a lengthy history of interfering in other countries' affairs.
It doesn't. It doesn't. What about the children that it unalived in Aleppo?
Unlike the United States, unfortunately.
In Aleppo?
Afghanistan.
But the point is, the benefits being accrued through this fight does not go to the average American. You know who benefits from this? The wealthy shareholders who have shares in Northrop Grumman and Boeing and all the other defense contractors. There's hundreds of billions of dollars.
Why are you defending Russia so hard?
Primarily, by the way, Russia is not our enemy. Russia doesn't hate America. Russia
wasn't our enemy, but under Putin,
they're not our enemy. That's a contrived story. It's not an enemy.
They are. Now.
They're not an enemy of ours.
To defend Russia?
They are.
They're not our enemy. Trust me, they're not our enemy.
Maybe not under Boris Yeltsin when Clinton was in office and they tried to turn around and make it a democracy, but under Putin it is. Under Putin it is. Putin was like the RGB.
Let me finish saying one thing. I'm going to go. Let me finish saying one thing. This is so important to understand. It sets the framework for everything. This is where the American propaganda system puts it in people's heads. And here's the raw truth. Under Yeltsin, the international oligarchy, mostly American and British, were in Russia, which had just converted from a former state-run enterprise to privatization. They had their hands in almost all of these changes, which were vastly disproportionately harming the working class in Russia. It was destroying people's lives because under the Soviet system, for whatever critique you have for it, people's basic needs were tended to. Under a ruthless transition just to privately owned capitalism, the people were getting screwed over. That's the main reason why Putin took issue with
because
they
weren't being.
Hold on, let me finish.
It wasn't going the right way.
This is primarily. Let me finish.
This is really a lot of disinformation.
Let me finish. This is so important to understand.
Yes, it is.
Disinformation.
This is so important to understand. This is the entire foundation of why it matters.
The
Western oligarchy wants its grubby paws on the resources. This is the same thing going on with Venezuela right now.
You do not know what you're talking about.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
I thought you already did. But
I'm not done yet. This is
land
the
your plane.
underpinning of. This is the why behind it all. Okay, just listen for a second. And this is always the why. This is
No,
always
It's not.
the lie.
this is Steve
It
Bannon.
always comes
Holy
down.
fucking shit, guys. If you keep talking, he's going to keep talking. He is wrong. We're going to rebut what he says because everything that he is spewing is Russian talking points, and we're going to dismantle his argument piece by piece. But you have to let him get it the fuck out first. Go ahead and finish your propaganda, Chip.
Well, first of all, I have no connection to Russia and no reason to promote Russian interests. I'm simply speaking from geopolitical side. The same thing's happening in Venezuela right now. They don't have a narco-trafficking problem. There are resources in Venezuela that are out of reach to the Western multinational oil companies, as were the resources in Iraq, as were the resources in Libya, as are the resources in Russia right now. The United States has been pushing to try to get itself positioned to get its business interest inside of these countries, and when a leader stands in the way of that, they're targeted and vilified and try to be taken out by any means available. This is all about money, power, and resources. It always is. That's the bottom line with geopolitics. If you can't see that, you are thick.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I want to read a quote here. This is directly from the Kremlin. Above all, we should acknowledge that the collapse of the Soviet Union was a major geopolitical disaster of the century. As for the Russian nation, it became a genuine drama. Tens of millions of our co-citizens and co-patriots found themselves outside Russian territory. Moreover, the epidemic of disintegration infected Russia itself. This is about regaining their fucking land that they had taken from people so many years ago. They had forced these other nations under their umbrella, this empire that they built. They lost it. It was an embarrassment to them. Vladimir Putin has openly talked about the fact that he hates the United States because he blames us for the disintegration of the Soviet Union. I guess technically he's not wrong, but this is all about pride for them, and that's why they're doing it. That's one of the reasons. The other reasons are resources. That's why they took the countries in the first damn place. So when you come up here and say this is about NATO and this is about this, it is true that the United States has had issues, unnecessary issues with Russia. We could have allied with them and we chose not to. But instead of doing that, we just fostered this hate between them and this Cold War mentality that perpetuated. Now people don't even understand why they hate Russia. But what we're seeing is them taking these back. They said the same talking points. Oh, they're not trying to take it back in Georgia. They said it about fucking Crimea. Oh, it's not about regaining the USSR. It's not. And then they moved on into Ukraine. And when they're done with Ukraine, they're going to move to the next country. And then you're going to come up here and spew those talking points again. And then the next country, before you know it, it looks like the USSR of old. And there's like, yeah, but it was because of NATO. It wasn't because they wanted the USSR. So what you're saying is just Russian propaganda that has been spewed and you have believed it. And I'm not saying that America is, some great and wonderful, example, a shining beacon of goodness in this world, because that's not true. But what you're saying is just not accurate. Okay. But thank you, Chip. I appreciate it. Does anybody else want to follow up with that?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him examples of many countries beyond their borders that Russia has moved against, because they don't make any movements outside of their borders, even though. But you went and go ahead and named some, so there you go. Enough.
It's been shooting drones off in Poland, hasn't it? Flying drones over in Poland, but it's outside his borders. Okay, and it went in Aleppo and it killed, unalived all those children. All the children in Aleppo were outside its borders. Not to mention other places. I think Germany too did drones, weren't they?
No, we're just thick because we don't buy into propaganda like Chip.
Well, now let me be clear. I can understand why somebody believes what Chip is saying. I get it. Because, NATO, if somebody took their shit and had a bunch of alliances and they considered us their enemy and they put their shit all around us, it would make us nervous too. Hell, look, they did it in Cuba. Look what JFK did, right? So the response is at least somewhat understandable, but they have other motives there too, right? That's a pretext, in my opinion. That's them wanting something and then finding a way later to justify it. So I understand why Chip believes this. It makes sense to me, but I think it's more broad than that. It's not just that thing. Right.
I think like say that it makes sense to me if I were, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way I can, a simpleton with no further interest in critical thought, right? And yeah, like if you just eat up what people give you at face value and you eat up talking points, quite like somebody in the comments did, they're like, oh, Chip kind of sounds like he makes sense. And I said, oh, sweetie, are you that susceptible to propaganda that you hear something that kind of makes sense to you and you go, well, that must be right? There's no thought that occurs to you, goes, maybe I should do a little bit more research, maybe I should read a little more, maybe I should go ahead and look with my fucking blinking human eyes at the action that Russia has taken outside of their borders. And then when Chip goes and says things like they don't move outside their borders, maybe if I wasn't a simpleton, that would lead me to go, maybe that guy's wrong. You know, like critical
Can I say
thought
that?
people.
I think there's this one point that we can both agree on, both left and right, is this this whole Russia thing. I think we can both agree on this, that it's a net negative, and we should be pushing back against it. And this rhetoric that we just heard from Chip I've never heard it before, but it seems like maybe it's part of a growing thing that's going to be happening. I'm not sure.
Well,
it's been going on for a while. It's Steve Bannon information. Steve Bannon's a very smart
Can I get a word
person,
in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not sure who hasn't spoken yet, but go ahead.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, about the Russia things. In the 80s and 90s, all we did in the military was train against Russian aggression. We got away from that when we entered the Middle East conflicts, okay? During the 80s and 90s, what Russia was doing was propaganda. They were sending out things, flyers, or whatever. And then the internet came about, you know what I'm saying? And then they infiltrated the internet to propaganda their shit. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, man. Russia invaded Ukraine is because we let our guard down. America did. And they seen the opportunity to do it. And that's what their plan was all along. Because think about it. We got people in America that are sympathizing with Russia, saying it's okay for Russia to do that. Well, it's not. That's a sovereign country, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
They entered Ukraine because they want to get the USSR back. That's what Putin wants, number one. Number two, he hated Zelensky. He hated the idea that the people that he had in place being the leaders of Ukraine, the people rose up and wanted them out of there. They knew they were still part of the Putin's whatever. And they voted for Zelensky. I think it was 80% or 70% of the people voted for Zelensky when he was elected, okay, at that election, because they wanted something different and new. And Putin didn't like that at all. Now, he had no control of Ukraine at all without having the leader that he wanted in place. All right. Number three, as far as the oil and all that other stuff, I think that is on the back burner. And we saw it coming. But what are we going to do? It's a sovereign country. We, as much as any other country that wants to be a sovereign nation, has to honor that. Okay, we had to honor that. And Joe Biden did not put boots on the ground, but he did a good job in helping Ukraine hold its ground. I think, anyhow. And I think that Joe Biden did a good job in negotiating with them. He wasn't trying to take away Ukraine's sovereign right to run this war the way they need to run this war. I mean, who is Donald Trump to say that Ukraine should give up anything? Who is he? He doesn't even live there. Not to mention, the reason he thinks he could stay in office all this time is because when they had that second meeting, Zelensky was sitting there and he told Trump about how they don't have an election that's in their constitution during a time of war. So Trump is over there all giddy about the whole thing, thinking he's going to be able to, he wants to try and cause a war with us. And he can't do it with the American people, so he's going to try and do it with Venezuela because that's another idiotic thing to do. That's another idiotic thing to do. And he's going to try and put boots on the ground in Venezuela. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think he wants them to attack us to give him a reason for sure. And I wish Chip hadn't dropped because, like, I appreciate Chip's take, and I understand why Chip believes that, but, you know, we did kind of shoot ourselves in the foot with Russia because, you know, after Danny Built does not comply with our community guidelines, what the fuck did Danny say? Danny didn't say shit. What the fuck?
What did I say, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because Danny Built does not comply with our community guidelines.
What did I say?
I have no idea, but I've got to drop you. Let me give it like 10 minutes and you come back. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
man,
know.
no problem, man. I understand, man. I don't know what I said.
Apparently, you were a bad baby.
I don't even think you were like talking much, but fucking TikTok, man. I don't get it. We love the TikTok shop. Fuck you, TikTok. All right, peace.
TikTok shop, guys.
So like the Marshall Plan, as an example, when we wanted to help rebuild Europe, we purposely structured them out of it. They repeatedly tried to get in on this alliance with Europe, and we constantly viewed everything that they did as aggressive and hurtful, right? And I guess it makes sense to some degree why we did that, but I think it was a strategic blunder that we made, and it created. Do what?
Why do you have a soft spot for Russia? It sounds like you have a soft spot for Russia.
You can look this at historians talk about this. It was, and I don't even think that we did it on
we broke
purpose.
down the wall. Was that a good thing?
No. I'm talking about in the 1940s, man.
Okay,
I'm going all the way back to the 1940s. After World War
in the
II,
period where they killed their own people.
After World War II, we did not allow them to come to the table. We didn't.
Do you remember when they gassed their own people and when the hostage situation or when they bombed their own buildings? They're not a good country.
Yet we worked with Germany. We worked to help rebuild the countries, including Germany, man. So don't tell me about gassing people when we were helping them also to rebuild after the fact. Right? that makes no sense. My point. I'm not simping for Russia. I don't like Putin. I think Putin is an evil person. Period.
Well, and I also don't understand why we're equating Russia back then with Putin, right? Because he wasn't there. So it just especially when you think about the numbers that Russia lost, and just the magnitude of people, right? So many more than people even think about because it's overshadowed by things that happen in other countries, and I can understand that, right? But Russia suffered major losses of life and
27 million. 27 million people.
Major losses of life. And so to say like we should not have worked with them when we worked with the people that started the thing, right? Essentially, quote unquote, started the thing.
Yep.
It nobody's simping for Putin. Nobody's like, yeah, well, Trump is,
right.
But nobody here is simping for Putin.
It's just it's context to a situation, you know, and I don't even think that, you know, because they saw what they did in Russia. They saw what they did. They had joined Germany, and then eventually Germany turned on them, right? So they're seeing this, and they realize that they aren't necessarily the greatest of actors, and they just chose to believe that everything that Russia was doing, even if it was defensive, because they just lost 27 million people from the war, they viewed it as aggressive instead of defensive. So, you know, and now we're here, but again, I also don't agree with what Chip was saying, because that is devoid of any context. Like we've already seen them go systematically from country to country trying to take them back, and they just happen to all be countries that used to exist within the USSR. You know, so it's like, no, come on. This isn't NATO. If they had an issue with NATO, they would have attacked a NATO country. They didn't.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that the U.S. was right in striking a deal for materials from Ukraine?
When?
No.
What do you mean? Most recently.
When Trump did it.
You mean
post after the entire nuclear thing that you're Buddhist?
The Budapest Memorandum? Why would I be against us striking a deal with them for resources? We struck a deal with China for resources.
Well, I'm asking you if you're okay with it because it.
What about it? Shouldn't I be okay with?
Well, the fact that it's what do you call it? You're striking a deal for concessions, essentially. Like you're forcing their hand, right?
Huh? No. What?
When Trump did. When Trump did.
No.
How is that forcing their hand when part of it? So, like, if we're gonna simplify it, right? It's
well,
like
they don't
you
have a
looking at
choice.
somebody and going, "Hey, look, like I know right now you have a closed door that has a lock on it. If you give us this lock, in return, we will stand somebody outside of your door to make sure that nobody comes in and make sure that no battering ram situation happens, right? Do you agree to this? Question mark. Like the question mark at the end of it, the mutual aid, the sharing of resources is where I'm confused about how it would be forcing someone's hand.
Because Trump said that it was to pay for the monies that we supposedly had given to Ukraine. And he said that he wanted them no matter what. He wanted to have the availability of those resources. That's when that deal was struck, if I'm not mistaken.
You bring up a good point, Ashley, where I think you guys would agree with his position on having the EU pay for the weapons to supply Ukraine, right? Do you agree with that or no?
Well, yeah, somebody has to. Yeah.
So what issue do you have with it?
What issue do I have with it?
Yes.
I don't have. I already told you. I think we should fund all of Ukraine to only because Russia is our adversary, and we should utilize this moment to weaken their defenses. Essentially, is what I think. But in the society that we live in, I'm just rolling with the punches as they come. So I think Trump did something that Democrats wouldn't have done.
You say that you want to weaken Russia, and sure, like okay, I'm sure there are ways. I can't tell you. I'm not a fucking war strategist to do so. But we're currently living under an administration that does nothing but capitulate to them and bend the knee and kiss the comrade's ring.
Well, so, comrade, how they didn't capitulate, right? The whole EU deal where we sell them the weapons, we get the money, and then those weapons go to Ukraine, right? That's one way where he did not capitulate, right?
No. He did capitulate because the only reason he did that is because Europe was going to quit buying military. They're going to quit purchasing American military stuff. They had to do that for our defense contractors. And Donald Trump's not capitulating at all to the Russians. What's happening is he's using tariffs. They're trying to destroy the current world order. And Putin's at war with the West, and Donald Trump is also. That it's not the fact that he's capitulating to Putin; it's that they've got the same goals.
No, they just overpaid for houses and buildings and shit. Right when Donald Trump was running out of money because he bankrupted everything, they just happened to prop him up back in the 80s to allow him to keep grifting.
Right.
I mean, look, Russia made an investment in Donald Trump, and that investment has paid off fucking thousandfold.
Definitely, it has.
Just because people have the same goals doesn't mean that somebody can't say they're in charge of the operation, right? And so, like, I'm not going to deny that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have the same goals, but I'm also going to restate that Trump capitulates to Putin as essentially is like calling him the big daddy in charge of it
Give
all.
it to me, Bubba. Come on, Bubba, give it to me.
Well, and the thing is that we have never had a more compromised president than Donald Trump. Like he hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. He has business deals all over the world that people can, like, they can say, we're going to shut down your hotel. Maybe it's millions of dollars a year into his thing, and he is compromised at every angle by everybody.
Can I ask you
100%? But there's a difference between capitulation and having and being complicit.
He is compromised. He has not stood up
I
to
agree he's compromised,
anybody.
but I'm saying that he's not necessarily capitulating. It's not necessarily that he's being
Where is he not capitulating?
So like look at Congress.
Where is he not capitulating?
It's like deferring. It's like he's deferring to Putin. Deferring is not capitulation.
No, it's capitulation. When Putin was found by the Mueller report to have interfered in our elections, then is there any punishment? No. Is there any punishment for people he knows probably have dirt on him? I mean, these people that he's pardoning, maybe they hung out with Epstein too.
Ask you a question.
Ghislaine Maxwell, why is she getting pardoned?
Is somebody eating animal crackers?
Bill Barr was the one that turned around and said that there was nothing between Russia and Trump, and he made it a big deal. He made it like it went away, and that was stupid because he was. There was more to that than meets the eye. Even
the collusion is written out in
and Bill Barr turned around and made that conclusion without us even
the Russians.
And Bill Barr was compromised by the Epstein files.
Guys, you really don't.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
I think he was compromised by Epstein's unaliving also, because his father was the head of. If I'm not mistaken, his father is the one that put Epstein in his first teaching position.
Yep.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. And Bill Barr was the last one to have seen Jeffrey Epstein, prior to him unaliving.
Yep.
Okay. So if you don't think that Bill Barr had more to lose than to gain by going against Trump with the Mueller investigation, then you're ludicrous. He had to say what he had to say so that Trump got off of it, so that Trump looked like he was innocent, and he did it.
Yeah, imagine getting a teaching job with no degree.
Yep.
No degree.
That's how Bill Barr got the job.
You guys,
no, that's how Jeffrey Epstein got the job.
Donald is the one that gave him the job.
That's how he got it.
His father did.
But his father's name is Donald.
Oh, his father's name's Donald too?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why he has a loyalty to Donald J. Trump. I don't know.
He's like, Donald Duck. He used to watch Donald Duck all the time.
Donald.
My favorite cartoon.
And then wasn't his father wasn't his father sort of weird too? He wrote a book about something that was sort of weird. He was sort of in the essay game type thing or something like that, wasn't he?
Well, absolutely.
I haven't.
I don't know for sure.
I haven't.
His father wrote a book.
But he
yes,
did
his father wrote a book.
They said that he wrote a book about a rich person getting an island and abusing children.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, that says everything.
We're bringing Danny back. We're bringing Danny back. Danny is a victim of TikTok circumstances. So, Danny, let us know what misinformation you have for us now. Okay. And welcome back.
Right.
Oh, by the way, real quick, before you go, let me do a PSA. I haven't done one in a while. What's weird is we got to 40,000 likes in like no time, and when I called it out and thanked everybody, it slowed to a crawl. We've only gotten 7,000 since I called that out. So, guys, please tap. Let's get to. We should be like at 75,000 already. Please keep tapping, and if you can gift, please gift. We're still at 15 hats. If you want to support the live, send. Oh, I put 50 of those hats. I didn't mean to do that, but send some love offerings too, please. Danny, go ahead. You do have only one bar, and you were breaking up, so let's try it. Go for it. Keep tapping.
No, hey, I'll wait till my bars come back up, man.
Okay.
Go.
All right.
Daniel, TikTok has it out for you today.
Yeah, just don't get behind them, okay? Just don't get behind them. The bars. Bad joke.
What do you guys think about this Venezuelan thing?
The Venezuela thing is fucking. These people are hypocrites. They're hypocrites to the nth degree, and they'll just do it right in front of your face. They don't even care anymore. They're like, it's about rugs. It's about rugs. Oh, well, there's a guy that was found guilty of trafficking 400 tons of, or whatever of happy powder. Well, let's give him a pardon. Fucking weird.
Well, in the United States, he was convicted.
Right.
What I believe about the whole situation is that, like, when you look at, like, during the first Trump administration, he was the one that oversaw the arrest of Epstein, right? Even though he had Thanksgiving dinner with him, like, it's his DOJ that got Epstein. And then what do we have? We have this, like, lawsuit which may be from Ivanka, frankly, because it says from the time of my birth, that says that Trump and Bill Gates and somebody else have overtaken the role in trafficking.
Venezuela. You're not talking about Venezuela at all.
I'm getting there. So generally he replaced Epstein with himself and business, and we know that Trump's all about money, and he knows there's lots of money in rugs and in trafficking women, right? And so I think that he's letting these people out to set up a network as long as they give him a percentage of the thing.
Oh, dude,
That's interesting.
And I believe
you're stretching it so far.
And I believe that he's going after Venezuela because I don't know if you've looked at the Venezuelan beaches, but they're gorgeous. And
they are.
And
But
he wants to make it so that he can install his own network of traffickers in there instead of other people using their traffickers.
And that is, I want to make clear for TikTok purposes that is speculation on Potivity's part. So take that for what it is. I think it's interesting, though. I think
my opinion
it's
that
not a bad
he is a mob boss.
Right.
Yeah,
here's the thing,
in my
though.
opinion, he is a mob boss, and he is taking out the other criminals so that he can profit from those businesses. That's what
I think that's interesting.
So I don't understand how that would even be considered. Somebody said, like, "Oh, that's a stretch." Like they did not say that he's like inseminating cows with alien DNA and installing them in Venezuela. But they said that he's trafficking women and children, which he's known to do. Doing and probably wants to traffic rugs, which he's known to do. So when a weasel acts like a weasel, I'm not expecting why we didn't expect it to disrupt the Large Hadron Collider. Like, I'm not really. I don't.
Okay.
And Donald Trump hung out with all the 5 big mob bosses.
Let's hear the rebuttal to this. So go ahead.
Donald Trump was friends with Maduro in Venezuela at one point.
Can I just say that? Well, Donald Trump hung out with all 5 big mob bosses in New York because they ran cement for any building projects and stuff like that. And he had Giuliani take them out so that the Russians could come in, because now the Russian mobsters are the ones that run cement in New York. So it's my opinion that that's what he does. He's a mob boss, he's a criminal, and he is taking out the things that he wants to profit from so he can set them up for himself.
Look.
I don't think it's about the regime. I don't think it's about the leader.
Well, I want to hear the rebuttal to this. We've heard a few people agreeing or at least talking about the likelihood of it. So let's hear the rebuttal. Who was that?
Look, I think you guys are making a massive stretch, which I can't get on board with because, dude, Trump is not this mastermind that you're making him out to be. Like, he doesn't have the capability to do that. Like, it's
stupid.
Just
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong that you think that he's capable of doing all this shit that you just stated.
I think he's an evil genius. That's what I think.
No, he's really not. He's not. He doesn't have
$1 million. Right?
Yeah, exactly. He does not have the capability to do the things that you are accusing him of doing. Like he's just not that guy. Like
you guys have given him the power to do the things that I'm accusing him of doing.
No, sure. Maybe you're right on certain aspects of that, but like he's still, even with that being said, he does not. Dude, he really is not this criminal mastermind that you're making him out to be. Like like you have to realize that your own position on this is a little bit of a stretch.
Trump is trying to start a war with Venezuela. Trump is trying to start a pew-pew with Venezuela because he can't get the American people to do it like he thought he could. Like
What I
when he
think's
turned
funny
around
about
and
Venezuela.
Personally, I do not believe
Dude,
it's
he's trying to start a war. He's trying to start a war.
What I
in my
think's funny
opinion.
about Venezuela is the fact that this admiral that they're trying to blame says that he has a video of Donald
Of
Trump
it.
telling Hegseth to hit that boat again and unalive the sailors.
And there you
I think
go,
that's
because he probably
fucking
wanted
funny.
to cover his ass. He
I
knew.
can't wait to see that video, and I think that's
Honest,
hilarious.
can we talk about how Hegseth is trying to blame the fog of war? Like this man thinks it's like what does he think? Like that it's a literal fog over the fucking ocean? The fog of war? Like what is he? He had plenty
The
of
fog
intel.
of war
They
is
tried to
simply
say that
I
they
know
were
what the fog
still
of war is, but
dangerous.
what I
They
don't
tried to say
understand
they were
is
still
how can you
dangerous.
fucking tell me that it was the fog of war that Hegseth is trying to blame when you had a drone with an HD fucking camera on it that could see the whole fucking thing? That
But
is
they
not
also
the
they're
fog
trying to
of
say
war.
that they were still
Of fucking
dangerous, that
pictures
they
in
were
4K.
still a threat.
If you can
Okay,
make an
what were they going to
excuse-
do? Tie together all the bales of whatever they have out there together to take a little ship over to the
I love when a
United
bunch of
States?
people are speaking who have never fought in a war try to talk about the fog of war.
Well,
You
you've
guys are
never.
so dumb.
Well, Connor, you've never. Hold on. You've never actually fought in a war either. All you did was go and slaughter oppressed people. That's not a war. That's called a
Hey, my
slaughter.
my
You've
husband
never
fought
fought in a war, sir. Stop
My
saying that.
husband fought in a war. You're just a
But
fucking
Venezuela
piece of
isn't a
shit
war,
terrorist.
nor should it be. Who says Venezuela should be a war? It's
Look,
not a war. He's over there doing what
to
he's
hear
doing
this
because he
genius
wants to
talk about the
agitate
fog
us.
of war.
We
Hold
are
on.
talking
I would
to
like to hear this
Connor,
genius
who
right here
tried
talk
to
about the
say,
fog of war.
Demo, I'm talking, I'm speaking. I'm not gonna fucking deal with it, especially when a terrorist that fucking unalives children just tried to come up here and claim any kind of actual fucking veteran status. Let's be real. My husband fought in a fucking war. You, Connor, you are a yellow belly piece of shit, slimy, cowardly terrorist fuck.
Here comes the bully and harassment TikTok ding. I just feel it coming.
It's coming.
I'm like
It's
on
probably
edge
come,
here.
but I'd love it's gonna come to
Every
it's gonna
time
come
somebody
from me
starts
because I
talking,
didn't say anything.
yeah, Danny.
Did
Danny.
you know that Trump was friends with Maduro? Trump was friends with Maduro.
Oh, hold on. Remove Light My Pyre. Light My Pyre's content contains themes that some may find uncomfortable. If they remain in your life, I've got to remove you, Pyre. It says live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Does not comply with our community guidelines. Harassment and bullying. Called it. I called that shit, didn't I? Holy fuck. So for 10 minutes, everybody just be nice. We love you.
But anyhow, Donald Trump was friends with Maduro and Joe Biden wouldn't recognize Maduro's election as Maduro being the president. It was Garcia that was the president, that Garcia had a warrant against him after the election that Maduro put against him, that had to go to Spain, his home country, because Maduro was going to have him arrested. Okay? So, because he didn't win the election, Garcia did. And now you have Maduro over there, and Trump, everybody tries to say that he wants to change the regime. I don't think he wants to change anything. I think Maduro is allowing him to do what he's doing in that country. Okay, if you wanted to go to a country about the war on drugs, why wouldn't you have gone to Colombia? Venezuela shares border with Colombia. All Venezuela is a transit area to get the drugs through. They just started growing their own personal as of late. Other than that, they were getting it all shipped in from Colombia and what were the other two countries? Anyhow, but it was a bypass to the United States. That's all it was. Okay, so Trump is just trying to use a situation that is going to benefit him because he does not want the election, the midterm election, and he doesn't want to, because he knows he's going to lose it, and he doesn't want to have to go through the presidential election.
That's another stretch. That's another stretch.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Whoa! Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because Poetivity does not comply with our community guidelines for misinformation. I've got to drop you, Poetivity. All right, dropping like flies. Look at this. Okay, so when Connor shows up, two people almost immediately get removed. Connor, are you doing some shenanigans?
I've never reported a lie in my life.
Okay. And you've
All right,
never
so
told a
listen.
lie either.
About
Also true.
Venezuela, there's two things people aren't taking into account. The first one being China is very energy dependent right now, and they are trying. I think that they're trying to cut off access to Venezuelan oil to hamper China, and also the fact of the tariffs. The tariffs are being used to bludgeon the current world order, and they're trying to tear it down, and they're trying to go back, what I believe, to an 18th century imperial world order, and that's Venezuela's Western Hemisphere is our sphere of influence, and I think that those two things might be connected as well.
How is that our sphere of influence?
Now here's my.
When you look at an imperial,
Hey, I have a theory.
Order, when you look at an imperial world
I
order,
have a theory.
the Western Hemisphere would be our sphere of influence. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just telling you the philosophy behind what I think that they're doing. The ideology.
I think a world order is what Trump wants to create as far as being part of it. He wants to be part of a world order. Him and hey you, Putin, and anybody else he can get that's evil.
You're so
that's what he
mistaken.
wants.
You're so mistaken that you think that he's capable of doing all this shit. Like
I don't think he is at all in actuality. That's why it's not.
Pyre.
That's why it's not working.
Real quick, Pyre, was that you? Did you send me that? Let me just get, because I'm not sure. I think that is your name, but I just want to make sure. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And again, if you guys want to support the live, $ Live Loudmouth on Crash App. You can offer your support.
You're going from extreme take to extreme take. But like first you think he's doing this world order thing, then
not attributing it to Donald Trump.
I haven't even kept track of all the crazy shit you said, but like
what crazy shit have I said? He wants Venezuela to start. He wants to start a war in Venezuela. That's my opinion. He wants to do that so that he doesn't have to step down from the presidency. He wants to do that so that he can call off an election.
Hey, hold on a second.
He found out from Zelensky that they don't have an election during the war.
Hold on a second.
And he
hold
thought
on
that
a
he could do
second.
the same thing.
Hey, hold on a second. In our Constitution, even if the President of the United States enacts martial law, there's still elections in this country.
I know,
okay?
I know this. Yes,
okay,
you're right.
so he can't. What you're saying,
he can if the Republican Party agrees with him.
Hey, you got to let someone finish, sweetie, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's no way Congress is going to allow that. Okay, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. They would need 67 votes. They would need 67 votes in the Senate to make that happen. They'll never get that vote.
I think I missed something. To make what happen?
To have new elections in our country.
To have erections in the country?
No. Hold on a second. Ready? For Donald Trump to be able to not have a presidential or midterm election, right? With martial law, because we went to WAR, ready? It can't happen. We're still going to have elections. The only way it can get turned around is Congress acts in 67 votes in the Senate, and they're never going to get that ever.
Okay,
you got to stop saying that, man.
This is weird. I just got a pop up. It says live may contain AI generated content. What the fuck is going on here?
Dude, you're getting the weirdest.
How much stuff have we said that he would never do?
And it started right after Connor shows up.
How much stuff have we said he would never do? That he would never get away with? He's ignored the orders of a judge. He's turned around and ignored judicial orders. He put in a Fox News guy as part of the DOD.
Connor, bro.
I mean, come on, man.
The argument that
How much stuff have we said that would never happen that he has done?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, somebody else can go ahead. Go ahead, guys. Sorry, I'm dealing with all these fucking weird ass things going on right now, so I missed some of that. So go ahead.
Listen, all elections
What kind
will
of
never
power do you
stop.
guys think I have? I'm confused.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, Israel just essentially bought up TikTok. So
Yeah, but am I part of the Mossad? No. So what do you think I'm doing?
Well, you're part of the IDF.
So how do you think that I have any effect on your TikTok?
Because listen, I don't trust you.
I wish I had some effect on your TikTok. I don't. Now, when I came here and
you wish that you would. What would you
aggressively,
do? What would you do if you did have control?
I would probably fuck with it as much as I could.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what you do, right? You if somebody says something you don't like, you believe that you're entitled to get them to shut up.
Do I believe that people watching this are being misinformed? Yes. So if I have a power to fuck up this live, I would do it. I don't have that power.
You know what?
And I have
you
no
might
interest.
want
I
to
have no
drop.
interest in reporting.
You might want to drop. You might hold on a second. You might want to drop this guy and block him because he's the one who's doing it. Bullshit! I just found out.
I swear on the
He's the
state
one
of
that's
Israel.
doing that.
I swear on the
He's
state
the
of
one
Israel
that-
that I'm not reporting you.
Well, he'd be able to. Well, here's the thing: he'd be able to report it from the comments, anyways. He'd be able to come in one of his 1,000 accounts that he's got.
I have one account and I'm not doing anything.
I even had a Ministry of Defense guy come up into my panel. These Zios fucking hate my ass. They follow me around wherever I go. Every time I speak about these issues and matter of fact, I even defended Zios the other day. But you guys probably missed that. You don't care. You think I'm an enemy of you. I just want you to stop unaliving babies. I want you to stop thinking that you have rights over somebody else's land. I want you to stop engaging in colonialist behavior. That's it. That's all. I don't want you unalived. I don't want you harmed. I just want you to stop harming others. That's it. That's it. I literally said last night on somebody else's panel, I'm like, look, I don't even want Zionists to be attacked because it's not about that.
I'd like for us to not be in war also.
Agreed. And to give Palestinians the right to live with no fucking walls, just fucking work that shit out.
If their leadership would disavow armed resistance, and maybe we can get there. God, inshallah, God willing.
I mean, we'll see, but the way that it's going now, I don't see how that's going to happen. And
I also agree with you.
Yeah.
But so does that give you the right to continue to unalive them? It doesn't give you the right to unalive them.
When we're
to starve them.
When we're defending our people from attack, Israel pretty much has to do whatever it can do in order to protect ourselves.
Well, this is ludicrous. It's been going on since Yasser Arafat.
It's been going on since before that.
It's been going on since
before
that. When the Haganah, the Irgun went in there, they were terrorist organizations.
Don't forget about the Lehi.
Well, look, they also engaged in defending themselves because unlike what you believe, Palestinians have a right to defend themselves too. And put yourself well, hold on, put yourself in their shoes. Just think about this for a second. If you can, their perception, whether you agree with it or not, their perception is their reality. And Gina does not comply with our community guidelines. The restriction will be removed once they are disconnected. Misinformation I've got to drop you. Wow.
I know.
So, anyway, now I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, so put it in their perspective that somebody came in and took their land, and they are believing that they are fighting to get their land back. That's their perception, right? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, as they say, and that's true, right? And you may not agree with it, but yet, they're not. Just because they do those things doesn't make them inherently bad people, right? Just like you would tell me that unaliving the babies is just a casualty of war, it doesn't make you bad people. You would say that?
Unaliving babies is a tragedy that I blame on the leadership who use them as human shields. I don't blame the IDF for the children that are unalive in Gaza. Not for a second.
Yeah, human shields. Okay. I mean, that's what you say every time. It's always that. Anyway, so now half the panel is gone, and Connor has admitted that if he had power, he would fuck with my live and get it taken down. So
I'm just being honest.
Well, I appreciate that. I knew that you would, because that's the behavior that is coming from those people. And if you want other people to not look at you in negative ways, maybe stop behaving that way, right? Because, see, I don't agree with what you said. I wouldn't go and fuck with somebody's life just because I disagreed with them ideologically. That's weird.
This goes back before the 40s. I would say it goes back in the 20s when the Israelites or the Jews were attacking the trains. This whole tea thing, this whole tea attacks.
Did you say the Israelites?
Yeah, the
Interesting.
The Jays.
No, just you're calling us the Israelites. I appreciate that.
I was trying to find a more politically
Coconut's nice in there.
politically correct term.
I mean, that is a correct term. Where does the term Israelite come from?
I mean, people that exist in Israel would be called Israelites.
I'm asking him a question. He said Israelite. I want to know where that name comes from.
In committing tea groups, committing tea attacks on the train system in the 20s.
That's not what I asked you. I said, where does the name Israelites come from?
Give me a history lesson. Let's hear it.
I'm just saying, if our name comes from the land, then are we not, native and indigenous to that land?
Can there not be more than one group of people that are indigenous to a land?
No, there certainly can be, but denying our indigeneity or whatever the word is.
The only people I see denied are the Palestinians.
So you were given that
land. It happened in World War II.
I'm having a conversation with him, please.
You were given that land in World War II.
I hear you, but I'm having a conversation with democracy. All right. So you're not denying that we're indigenous to the land?
No, I think that Israel they are from there as well, but they're not the ones that are being kicked out of their land.
Thank you, brother.
Well, let me rebut that. Let me rebut that, because if they were from the land, they wouldn't cook as if they were inside a broiler.
I'm going to gift you.
When they go there, they wouldn't end up with blisters and melanoma at very high rates.
So
but they do.
Are we indigenous or are we not?
No, you're not.
Oh, so make democracies wrong.
Am I indigenous? Am I indigenous to Africa, Connor?
You're certainly not.
Okay, then you aren't indigenous to there either. It's very you can tell who is indigenous to that land.
You don't know what I look like. You have no idea what I look like.
No, you're right. I don't. But I'm just going to assume that you're a European because of the values that you've exposed. Okay.
You'd be incorrect.
Okay, sure. Well, look at the international spokesperson. Look at the international spokesperson of Israel. Look at the international spokesperson of Israel, European. Look at your fucking prime minister, European. You go down the list, almost all of those cabinet members are European, and they have to lather before they get up in the morning. They have SPF 10,000 sitting on their bedside table, and they lather themselves with it to keep themselves from cooking.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Hold on, I'd like to
wait 1 second. Let me ask the host. Let me ask the host a question. If you have a Native American, okay, who was kicked off his land and then had to spend, let's say 1,000 years in Panama, okay, is that person still indigenous to Native America?
10,000 years?
No. I said 1,000 years, but it doesn't matter about the amount of years. Just because Jews had to spend a very long time in Europe.
No.
Hold on. Hold on. Listen for a second.
Right. 2,000.
Because Jews had to spend.
You asked me a question. I answered. I'd like to answer.
I heard your answer.
Well, no. I'd like to go further because
I'm all ears.
Well, because you said if a man was kicked off and then 2,000 years later, but that man would not exist 2,000 years later. 2,000 years later would be an ancestor that would look like the person from that the area where he lived for 2,000 years, right? Or 1,000 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he would no longer be indigenous to that land.
Interesting.
0.0000678% Levantine. Here's the fact is that the vast majority of people have DNA from that location because every human is from that area, and that's why I asked you if I'm indigenous to Africa, and you said no.
So, host, in 500 years, when the Palestinian refugees in America look just like Americans, are they going to have any claim of indigeneity to Palestine?
Of course not. Of course not.
So they're going to go back to a free Palestine.
It's not interesting. It's consistency. It's consistency.
Oh, that
you
is
don't
very interesting.
listen. You don't get a
So
right
what's the
to go
limitation?
back.
What's the limit? How many years?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you're telling me that at some point you're not indigenous anymore. So when is
okay, so if you are a white person from Europe, your grandma, your great grandma, your great 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 grandma all existed in Europe, and you're white as the driven snow, you don't get to claim indigeneity to a country you've never been in, and the last ancestor that you had,
great grandfather times
add 12 greats in front of grandfather.
Well,
I'm
happy to hear you. I'm happy to hear you say that. So in a couple of years, there'll be no more Palestinians who are quote unquote indigenous to the land, according to you.
Well, because you guys are going to commit a genocide and an ethnic cleansing and remove them. You wanted to do it back in 48, and it didn't work.
So when we were removed from the land, does that cede our right to the land?
Your argument is totally pointless.
Angela, take it easy. Take it easy.
No, don't tell me to take it easy.
It is pointless.
The thing is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, he and I were going back and forth. His point is moot because look, when you are gone for 2,000 years, in my opinion, and it's my opinion, you don't get to claim indigeneity. You don't. That's ridiculous.
I'm happy to hear you say it. Honestly, I don't take my right to be on this land as from something that happened in 2,000 years ago, and I don't take my right from anything in the Torah or in the Bible. I take it in that we were persecuted. We went to a country that there was no country here. There were people, but there was no country here. We came, we bought up some land, people attacked us, and when we won, we gained more land. And then when the war in 1967 happened, our land tripled. We were able to give a lot of it back for peace, which still holds up today in Egypt. There was a Jordanian occupation of the West Bank and East Jerusalem before 1967. No one really had a problem with that, which is rather interesting. But now that there's a free society here that lets all three major religions, pray in peace, where women are allowed to drive and walk alone, where homosexual people are allowed to practice freely. But you guys all have a problem with that. Why?
I don't have a problem with homosexual people being able to practice freely. What the hell?
I'm just saying you have a beacon in a terrible area where all these liberal things that you love you're able to live freely and practice those liberal.
What also exists? Yes, I have a problem with that country because this is a statistic that might blow your mind, Connor. You're probably aware of it. They did a report over Thai agricultural workers. 100% of them, 654 in total, had been sexually assaulted. That is also something that exists, and let me say, I find it weird. It's not a lie. It isn't a lie. I can pull it up. You want me to pull it up and show you the report? Let me pull it up. 100%. You can Google it if you don't believe me. 100% of Israeli agricultural workers had been sexually assaulted. Let me pull this up.
100%. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense because you don't want it to be true. And see, this is something else that exists in that area right here. A new report reveals.
First of all, what
this is businesshumanrights.org. Israel, a new report. See, you're interrupting because you know that you can't defend this. Israel, a new report reveals 100% of Thai agricultural workers were sexually assaulted. Every Thai foreign worker has been sexually abused in Israel, says the new report. This is in 2021. Every foreign agricultural worker was sexually assaulted in Israel. And I find it amazing that your soldiers grape with, whatever, batons, whatever it is, male prisoners. Epstein and Ehud Barak had a deal worked out where they were graping children. So what is it about these people where everything is so free and it's a beacon of hope just always seems to center around grape, kids, and disgusting behavior? Why is that? Can you explain that one to me, please? Because in your Talmud, why are you bringing
Judaism into this?
And in the Talmud, it says, okay, you know what the Talmud says that I'm about to repeat?
I'm not a expert on Jewish text.
Okay. Right,
And
I'm sure.
What does that
The
have to do with
rabbis. Look, it is a pattern of behavior. It is a
actually rather
pattern of
interesting.
behavior.
It's rather
Yes,
interesting that you bring that
not
up.
only that, but you like to snip little boys, and then you have mohels that will come in and literally suckle the peens of the babies to the point it gives them herpes. You can look this up. This is a fact too. So why is it that there are all these weird fucking things surrounding this group of individuals?
What you've been guilty about doing before is you're now conflating Judaism with Zionism, and what you're going to end up doing is alienating your Jewish supporters.
You don't get to gaslight anymore. We're a race, we're a religion, we're a this, and we're a that. And if you criticize any one of these things, it makes you a bigot. You're an anti-Semite. You just hate us because we're Europeans.
Bringing up Judaism. You're the one bringing up Judaism. I didn't bring up Judaism.
Liberal, may I bring up something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So Connor, I've been on a panel before when Connor showed his camera and showed the bloody passports. One of them being a woman. That's not a lie. We have photos of it.
Please bring up a bloody passport. I
I've seen it. Somebody sent me the screenshots.
Bring it up. Bring it
up.
up.
No, Connor. Why now? You're gonna pretend that didn't happen?
No. You're saying that I have bloody
No,
passports.
you literally said when you presented those things, you said they were trophies. Are they still trophies?
Yeah,
that's something serial unalivers do, Connor.
I know, that's what I'm telling you. So I think it's audacious of you to sit here and try to make yourself out to be some good guy in this conversation.
Such a lie. So once again,
it's not such a lie. I don't have any reason to lie about you. You did it, and now you're trying to deny that you did it.
Through my service, no, I'll say it again, like I've said many times. Through my service, I've definitely come across objects and items that I have returned through Palestinians from this app that are no longer in my possession. Oh, you don't think it's true?
Yeah, who was it? Who'd you return it to?
That's fantastic. I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to accuse him of being a Zio. You're going to accuse him of being a Zio. No.
You're lying again.
He's already been accused of being a Zio many times because me and him have good debate.
You're a serial unaliver. You're creepy. No one believes you.
I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Yeah, so
go look at the picture. There's no blood. And Alona, by the way, your own community is Alona, the comments, your own community is coming after you. I've been passing lives where they're all calling you a Zio because you're Jewish. So whatever. What up, DJ K? Is this a master debater?
Do what? Oh hell, DJ! I didn't even realize who you were, but yeah, welcome back, man. Good to see you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Now, real quick, Poetivity. I really want to bring you up, but I think you've gotten 2 dings so far. So let's wait like 10 or 20 minutes. I'll bring you back up. I just, we're on a roll here with TikTok. They hate us today, or they love Connor. I'm not sure which at this point.
So, Liberal, I just wanted to come up. I won't be long, and I know the other people came up before me, but I did want to point out. So, since you pulled up that report or that article from Business Insider, I believe you stated it was. It's also about the Thai agricultural workers, 100% of them, with the SA. It was also reported by the Jerusalem Post. So there's no denying that this is the facts. And when you actually read through the report, you will see that the Thai workers were scared to even report it at one point because they would threaten their family members. Oh, there it is from Jerusalem Post. Perfect. They would threaten their family members, threaten to revoke their visas, and so on and so forth. And they just knew that it's unfortunate, but that's something that they had to kind of deal with, right? Another thing I wanted to pull up as well.
In no way did I say that doesn't happen, by the way. He said that 100%.
Wait, you said it is 100%. It is 100% Thai agricultural workers.
I'm reading the article. I'm reading the article right now. Where on earth does it say 100%?
It says that he literally just pulled it up.
In the Jerusalem Post? I'm reading it right now.
What was the one on if you read through the article, it's 100%.
I want to read the article.
Okay, so let me make a clarification because it's 100% of those that were asked. It was 100% of those that were asked, right? So there was certainly more. There was certainly more.
It doesn't say that.
There was certainly more people that existed that maybe they didn't ask, but you get to 654 people, and every one of them have stated that they were assaulted. And I'm sorry, you got problems. No, we know what it says. I just brought it up.
Article,
you
Connor.
obviously don't know what it says.
We do,
well,
absolutely.
sure.
But that's even so. Anyways, you called it a lie, Connor, and
It
we showed you.
is
We
a lie
showed
that
you. Hold on,
100% of Thai
Yeah,
workers are sexually
100% of
assaulted.
well, 654 were surveyed. 654 said that they did. So yes,
Correct.
100% of those Thai, based on that study group, stated that they were SA'd. Absolutely, 100%. But that's not even the biggest thing, right?
I mean,
When
I
you
don't know what you're
actually
going
look,
off
hold
of.
on,
I do
Connor,
not see where you're going
just
off
wait,
at.
hold on. So Connor, we can even look at, right, is the Times of Israel. You can look up 81% of SA crimes in Israel go without being charged. 81%.
That's the same thing around the world. Same thing around the world.
Sadly, Connor is right about that. That is a global
81%.
issue.
It has nothing to do with Israel.
Okay, but
same
this
thing
is
in
the
every
thing.
country.
So Connor, when we're talking about 2023, 81%, literally no, they didn't even investigate it. They just brushed it off and so on.
2024, okay.
There was
That might actually
2023.
be a good number. That might actually be like a more positive number.
We saw a video of it. It occurred, man. Like we saw a video. We saw the those people with the shields. We saw the video.
Do you think that that's what he's talking about in this
but
article? That's not what he's talking about.
Connor,
you're arguing that it's not 80%. You're arguing that's not 100%.
That's not what I'm arguing.
60%.
That's not. Open your ears.
Connor, Ilona's right? So you're saying that Israel is the safest, and even for its own. But the reality of the matter is, that's why I'm bringing it up. Is because you made a statement saying, oh, where gay people get to do freely, women get to drive.
Correct.
As if women were unable to drive in Palestine prior, as if women were unable to. So this is the thing, right? So when liberal told you something about Judaism, you were like, oh, you go directly to Judaism, right? And this is the problem, right? This is the trick that you guys play. And liberals, right? Because is it ethnicity? Is it religion? Is it what? What is it? Because this is the trick you guys play. Hold on, Connor.
I never made a claim.
This is the trick you guys play, right? So when we're talking about
what
Palestine, Israel, I'm telling you. I'm telling you though.
Yeah,
I'm literally telling you.
I'll let you.
So
you can rebut, Connor. Okay, certainly. You'll always be able to rebut. Go ahead, DJ. Make a point.
So my point is that even this happened in the conversation I was having yesterday, right? So when I'm talking to somebody about Israel, Palestine, and the crimes they're committing, they wanted to immediately go to Muslims, right? And I'm like, wait, hold up. So this is the game that you guys play. Whether I say you guys want to pick when you can choose it's an ethnicity, you get to pick to choose when it's a religion. And the reality of the matter is, it was Israel, Palestine was the conversation, right? And this is how you guys keep that gray area to try to continue to deceive people.
Listen, you
it
can keep
absolutely
saying,
is.
I hear you. You can keep saying you guys. Never once out of my mouth have you heard me say anything about Muslims, okay? I consider Muslims to be patriots in Israel, just like Jews and just like Christians.
So can you show me where they weren't allowed to drive?
Let him finish. Go ahead, Connor.
Never once. So I don't know why you're bringing that up. If you spoke to some uneducated person who calls himself a Zionist that started shit talking Muslims,
and if you don't like it, then fucking get off TikTok.
I have a right to your freedom of speech. Sorry, that was an autoplay from Witchingly from yesterday, guys.
Please.
The greatest crash out in the history of the show.
All right, fantastic.
I've got a snippet. Anyway, sorry, that's what that was.
Fantastic.
Hold on.
Let Connor finish.
You're gonna let me say a sentence.
Yeah, go ahead, Connor.
So whatever conversation you had with some idiot, that has nothing to do with me, and that has nothing to do with Israelis around the country. Now, did I say that women in Palestine can't drive? That's not what I said. But you cannot argue. You can be against Israel as much as you want, but you can argue that Israel is arguably the safest place for a woman to be in the Middle East if she's living alone, she doesn't have a husband, or doesn't have a... Hold on. I'm almost done.
Okay.
I'm almost done. And definitely, not arguably, definitely the safest place for a gay person to live.
Okay,
100%
so let me.
the safest
Okay,
place.
thank you. So there's a couple things that you stated, right?
I'm bringing in the timer, by the way, so I'm going to give you rebuttal timer, 45 seconds. Other people are wanting to jump in, so let me get around the room. DJ, go ahead.
Problem.
Yep, go ahead.
So Connor, the fact that you said right about gay people, let's not forget that gay people can't get married in Israel. They have to actually leave the country and come back, right, to get married and come back. Number one, right? Let's not forget, right? And then you're saying that, any conversation that you had with a Zionist or Israeli, that means that they're dumb. Then that means that is all of your people, because every single one of you guys use this shit. Oh, the ethnicity, the religion, all this bullshit. You guys continue to pick one or the other, whatever the case is. Then you state that it is the safest place for women, which is absolutely false, Connor. We can look at data. We can see the amount of SA, the grape, the fact that even people that were in trauma, you guys continue to sexualize children, commit crimes against children, your own. Forget Palestinians. You have the highest PDF rate in the area. You literally have the highest PDF rate.
Okay,
You
so
guys,
your
you
time is up.
absolutely do. Okay, I'm
Your
just
time
telling
is
you.
up. Can I have 30 seconds?
Well, sure.
Legitimately 30 seconds?
Yeah, 30 seconds. Go
So,
ahead.
Again, you didn't respond to any of my claims. Number one, I never said that gay people could get married in Israel. That's not what I said. I said that gay people can practice freely and not have any, whatever. Again, you used someone else's argument against me. You went right back to that, talking about culture and Muslim. Once again, I never said anything about Muslims. And lastly, rape happens and sexual assault happens around the world. Israel is not alone and it's not free of it, but it happens everywhere. Israel's no different from the rest of the world.
But you guys allow it, right? There's no charges for it. I'm gonna drop down, liberal. Thanks, anyways.
Thanks, DJ.
No problem. But by the way, Connor did come up and show.
Sweetheart. Later,
He did
sweetheart.
show those Palestinian citizenships with the blood on them. He used them as a trophy. So don't allow him to convince
Read
you
about me in the
otherwise.
Hindu Job
I've
Foundation.
seen
Read about me.
I've seen the
enough about Connor.
screenshots. Yeah, I've seen the screenshots. But yeah, thank you, DJ. Let me get over to cancel culture is Teacup, but he would be next. Cancel culture, are you there? Yeah, did you want to weigh in on this? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only point I want to make is that Israel was given land that was not agreed upon by the land that it was taken from, right? So, I'm not like at the very basic level, right? That is what occurred. That's what happened, right? And I feel like you're not acknowledging that at all. And I think if you do, I think the reason why you don't acknowledge it is because, well, for obvious reasons, because it makes your argument kind of moot. So, I mean, I guess that's all I had to say.
Yeah, thank you,
Ken. That is profound. Who was Israel given land by?
During World War II.
Not
during World War II. Wait, no, hold on.
Not
Israel
the
was
people.
given land in World War II. What are you talking about?
Yeah, not the people that were living there, not the people that were displaced.
Well, hold on. He made a claim.
Colonialists.
He said Israel was given land that we didn't have the right to. What are you, cancel culture? I'm asking you. What are you talking about?
They were given land,
by
right?
Who?
By I think it was what was it, the world power at the time.
The world power. No. Hold on. Cancel culture. What on earth are you talking about?
I'm talking about how Israel got their land.
So please tell me.
Okay. After the World War, they were given land, right, in the Palestine area.
I think you need help. I think you should read about what happened, and then you should come back to Israel.
It's just imperialism. That's what it was. It's fucking colonialism. They colonized it. They're colonizers. Period. End of story. That's what it is.
Cancel culture. I have absolutely nothing against you, but you should read up. It sounds like you have no idea what you're talking about.
He does know what he's talking about. It's called the Balfour Declaration. Stop.
Right.
When was the Balfour Declaration?
Oh, Connor, stop it! You don't
was
rule
the
this.
Balfour Declaration?
1917 was the Balfour Declaration.
Is that before or after World War II? What is he talking about?
But that actually wasn't the transfer.
Minor aspects of arguments is what you're trying to
cancel
do.
Culture.
Correct.
You respectfully don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. Tracy, let me get around the room.
Yeah, get around the room.
Yeah, Tracy. Thank you, Connor. I'm glad I have your permission because that's what Zios want is to make you ask permission for everything. Tracy, go ahead.
You're welcome.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon, everyone from Georgia. I've got two things to say. The first is Loud. I sent a TikTok to you. Admiral Halsey, Congress has reached out to Admiral Halsey And he is willing to testify before Congress about why and how he resigned.
Nice.
He didn't want to kill innocent people, basically. And there was a huge, like, they had a huge argument about it. So if you want to check that out, and maybe it could be a topic later. And then okay, Israel and Palestine. I've been doing as much as I can to really understand what both sides are saying. I'm sorry, I'm going to land my plane. And I think at this point, both peoples refuse any accountability for the atrocities their people have committed throughout the centuries to each other. And they're not the only country that's guilty of things like that. Our country is guilty of things like that as well. I do not agree with what Netanyahu is doing. It is wrong. He's a war criminal. It needs to stop. He needs to be put on trial. However, and oh shoot, what's their names? The terrorist organizations, Hamas, Hezbollah.
H groups, yes, that were created by Israel and as a result of Israeli action. Sure.
Well,
those groups were created because of Israeli actions and further repression of peoples. Yes, that's true. Go ahead.
Hunter, I used to support Israel.
Well, hold on, cancel, because Tracy, we can let her land her plane.
So, because I am interested in the truth, Loud, what was it that you just said that the H's?
Yes.
What the host is saying. What the host is saying is that
I can speak for
Netanyahu,
myself. Whoa! I am not gonna have a Zio speak for me. Okay, so shut the fuck up whenever I'm about to say something. She asked me a question, not you. Yes, HMOS was funded through Qatar. They used it as a way to counter the PLO. Because they wanted to create division so that these people wouldn't come together under a singular purpose. This is documented. This is well known. This is not conspiracy. It happened. You can look up the articles. They did it through Qatar. So H Group was actually kind of plopped in there, and they also even funded the Muslim Brotherhood, which is from what Hamas came from. Hezbollah was the result of an invasion into Lebanon. Hezbollah is basically militia that was created to combat this fucking gross entry into somebody else's sovereign nation, which is what Israel continues to do. That's where they come from, both of them.
And is the PLO, because I remember that, because wasn't Yasser Arafat, wasn't he a leader of the PLO?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Okay, so is the PLO like a different organization from the H's?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, entirely. That is correct.
Okay. So
it was basically yin and yang. The PLO is good cop, bad cop, and that's what Netanyahu wanted. That's what, the Israeli defense industry entirely. They needed a boogeyman, is what they needed, because they had a goal.
I think you should just read about this. You're not going to learn about it here. You need to read about this.
I do agree with Connor on that. You should look it up, because this information is out there.
I mean, you're not going to listen to the host, and when he says PLO, it doesn't mean anything to you. So you should read it and learn the terms, and then you can have, you can make your own decisions about this, whether it's my side, his side, or somewhere in the middle.
Sure.
But you need to learn these things if you're going to talk about them.
I think that's fair, actually, Connor. Yeah.
But my point is, both everybody needs to stop. Everybody needs to stop.
Well,
it's a lot more complex than that.
It really is. It really is. And so let me give you an analogy. If I don't think you would criticize slaves for revolting against their owners, right? You probably wouldn't criticize, right? And so that, while it's not exactly the same, that is the perspective of Palestinian people. So when they fight back, they're actually fighting for their freedom to stop being oppressed. That's their perspective. I know Connor is going to probably disagree with that, but that's their perspective, and I agree with that perspective because they were in an area, a group of Europeans came over and essentially pushed them out by force. They unalived them, they unalived babies. There's evidence that they even cut babies from the wounds of mothers. They did this as a terror campaign in order to get the villages that would be down, the next one that would be in order to get them to flee so that they didn't have to just go in there and unalive them. That's what's called the Nakba. And they did this. Yes. And they did this. So ever since then, these Palestinians have been fighting for their freedom and to no longer be oppressed by this government in Israel. And so it's not as easy as Connor said as just saying, I wish they all need to stop. There's a lot more to it than that.
Okay, I'll definitely, study it because it does hurt my heart. I just,
Yeah, I really urge you to look it up and make your own decision. I don't want to push my read of the situation onto anybody else. That's going to be up to you. But, Connor will disagree, but at least we agree on that, which is that you should certainly go and look it up because it is certainly a talking point that we talk about on this show a lot.
I say something?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep. Yeah, and well, let me get down to democracy but next, and then I'm going to go back down the bottom row. So democracy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Connor about the HCOS. Do you know what caused it? Would you say that it was an authoritarian regime that did it, or was it a lack of statehood?
I would say, I don't know, both. There's a lot of things that led to the HCOS. Right. Do I think the HCOS would have happened with Israel being a country? No, I don't think it would have happened.
Wait. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But no, what I'm talking about is the lack of statehood is what made the HCOS possible. And I'm not talking
one
about
of the factors.
I'm not talking about statehood for the Jews. I'm not talking about it that way. I'm talking about it in statehood as a person. The people that where they were unalived, they were unalived in places where they didn't have a state.
Okay, now I don't really know what you're saying anymore.
The states were destroyed where the HCOS happened. So the question that I have saying that is, if you want to say that it happened because of an authoritarian regime, then you destroy authoritarian regimes. And if it happened because there was no statehood, that there wasn't a state, then maybe you don't want to destroy states. And the problem right now is that the people in Gaza don't have a state. And that's why this is happening to them and how it became possible. So that's just something I want to add to think about.
Oh,
yeah,
I
completely
I see what you're saying.
I think I understand where you came around.
Right.
I completely disagree with you. I believe that the people in
Gaza
are suffering.
though, Connor.
What are you disagreeing?
Am I not allowed to respond?
Yeah, I'm going to give Connor 45 seconds to rebut. He's the only opposition. So it's healthy.
Also, I was asked a direct question. I didn't interrupt anyone.
That is correct. So go ahead. 45 seconds.
Okay, so I completely disagree with your analogy. Okay, I believe the people in Gaza are suffering. They have been suffering, and I believe that's the case because you have millions and millions and millions of dollars coming into the Gaza Strip every year from around the world, and instead of using it to better the conditions for the people in Gaza, it's used for armed resistance, tunnels and weapons and things like that, and to line the pockets of the leadership there, the corrupt leadership. So they are suffering. It has nothing to do with them not quote unquote having a state. Okay, I completely disagree.
Yeah.
What I'm saying specifically is
hold on for a second. Please.
What I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Hold on. May I please?
Well, actually, no, because it'd be Time Lady Jess's turn.
Right.
So, because I want to give everybody a chance to speak. And Time Lady and Angela and Chim Chim have not spoken yet.
May I flesh out? Just finish with him. And have one more.
20 seconds to land your plane, and then I'm going to move on. Go ahead.
So the HCOS happened in places where they did not have a state. The states were destroyed,
You
and that's
made
why
this
they have
point
them there.
already. You made the same point,
Right.
dude.
So the point that I'm making is that this is becoming possible, and you're setting up a situation because they don't have a
Yeah,
state.
you already said
That it
that.
wasn't so much because of the regime,
You've
and
made
that you
that
guys
clear.
are doing the
You've
same
made
thing
your
over.
opinion clear.
Okay. Yeah. Jess, go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Welcome aboard.
Thanks. I came up because I don't love how Connor tries to display this like perfectness of Israel. Like your people came in and were given land. It happens. We as a country in the US started out similarly. We were given land that wasn't ours. That happened so long ago. Like we have the hindsight of knowing how badly we treated the people of this land to not allow you to treat the people of Palestine the way you're treating the people of Palestine. Like the fact that you have no concept of how like you've slowly expanded Israel to more and more land, that's you're conquering the land. You're not just taking what you think is yours. There's people who lived there and still live there and still want to live there. Like this, it's just not okay. And that you have no perception of that, and that's a little blindsiding to have no concept that what you're doing is not good.
Yeah, that is a great point, Jess, to point out. I'm glad that you did that. Jane, do you want to rebut that? Sure, go
Give
ahead.
me 45, legitimately 45 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
Never in anything that I say do I talk about Israel's perfectness. When I'm speaking to opposition, I'm going to refute the claims that they make. But when I speak to Israelis and when I speak to people who are Zionists and allies of myself, all I do at least, is talk about ways to improve our imperfect country and our imperfect land. Okay? Treating the people of Palestine, I would argue that if you didn't have armed resistance coming from quote unquote Palestine, these people wouldn't be suffering the way that they are. And when you say slowly expanding the land throughout the years, in 1967, when we tripled our size, we fought 3 countries. We gave back the land that we conquered in Egypt for peace, which still exists today. The other countries didn't want to do that, so we kept the land. Any country would do the same. And 10 more seconds, if you're going to mention, the Golan Heights, with what just happened, when the Syrian government fell and they took those positions, any country would do that when there's a power vacuum. And yeah, they went into Lebanon, but they're pulling back. It's not like we're trying to expand Israel into this greater Israel project.
And I want to point out, guys, that what he is saying is the exact same kind of rhetoric that Europeans used when they came over here and unalived the quote-unquote savages. It's exact same talking points that they used, and they used for hundreds of years. So, again, this is just colonialism wrapped up in somebody else's religion.
I was just going to say, like,
that's all it is.
I'm talking about the Indians in the same way. We didn't give their land back, but you don't
Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not Indians. They're Native Americans.
Or indigenous. Because
yes. Sorry.
Turtle Island. Turtle Islanders.
It's just it came out. I didn't mean it.
No. You're fine. I'm indigenous, and it doesn't bother me because this is a term that colonialists and European supremacy just wrought upon us, and it is what it is. So go ahead.
And I try not to do that, but I'm just saying that like we treated those people the same way you're treating those people, and the fact that you don't see it a little bit is what I'm saying is disquieting. And you did try to make Israel sound like the perfect place. You said that gay people are treated the best there. Like you did try to make it seem like this.
Well, then let me clear the record. Israel's not a perfect place.
Real quick. Positivity, I got to drop you. I got another ding for bringing you up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's
I
fucking
just wanted
crazy.
to say
I've got to drop you. I'm sorry. I can't.
Time, lady.
I can't.
Let me just set the record straight. Israel's not perfect.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, that's for sure. Angela, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so when he tries to kind of like whitewash the crimes of Israel, this kind of thing becomes really frustrating for those of us that know what the fuck's going on. When you sit here and say, oh, we're not, the greater Israel is something we're not trying to do. When I've sat and listened on Zionist panels where they talk about the greater Israel project very, very openly and very, very comfortably, and they believe in it. So when you sit here and try to deflect and say all this stuff, the reality of the matter is, this morning I woke up to pictures of southern Lebanon. You have destroyed southern Lebanon. There are pictures of the olive trees, thousands of olive trees you guys have destroyed in order to take that. What you're doing in Syria, while you're constantly pushing, well, we need these buffer zones, is also another reason that it's bullshit. And everyone knows it. This is the problem. You can't lie to people anymore.
Yeah.
I have 30 seconds to respond.
Sure.
Zionist panels that you listen to don't have control over policy making, okay? Just because you have Zionists who want more land for Israel, that does not mean at all that that's the official or unofficial policy of Israel. That means that you have people on TikTok who don't represent Israel saying that they want more land. If you want to talk about southern Lebanon, since October 8th, 2023, Hezbollah began attacking Israel. If Lebanon wanted to be left alone, all they had to do was not attack Israel. And once again, in Syria, when the government fell and there's a vacuum and there's weapons that are left unattended, any country is doing what Israel did.
Can I refute what he just said?
Yeah, sure. 20 seconds.
Yeah. So everyone, for those that don't know, Hezbollah was created because Israel was occupying and controlling southern Lebanon. The people of southern Lebanon were tired of their shit. And Hezbollah was created because of that. So when he comes here and says, oh, well, there's Hezbollah, all this stuff. Yeah, because you guys literally controlled southern Lebanon.
Everyone knows that.
I want to point out, like the Dakota War, if anybody isn't aware of this, they ended up executing, I believe it was 33 indigenous people, because the U.S. government made treaties with them and then violated those treaties, didn't pay them, pushed them into this little bitty tract of land that had basically nothing. And then at that point, the, quote, settlers still tried to encroach on the land that they were forced into, and so they attacked. And the rhetoric that came from that is the exact same shit that we're seeing right now. Again, this is just pure colonialism. That's all this is. It has been rinse, repeat. They've done the same shit over and over again. This time, however, the group of people that the Europeans latched onto, Jewish people, for example, they are now able to shield themselves in their supremacy by claiming, I'm Jewish, even though when they walk outside, blisters start to form in the area of Israel because they didn't belong there. But because they're able to do this, they can go in front of a camera, say the most vile fucking white supremacist shit that you'll ever hear. We brought the culture. We brought the innovation. We brought the godliness. They say this shit as white people, yet because they claim to be Jewish, we can't criticize that. But if they weren't Jewish, we would call them Yahtzees. This shit, what Connor is doing, it's the same goddamn difference, and we should treat it that way. This is white supremacy. This is white supremacy, and that's all it is. White fucking European supremacy.
You'll never see me crying anti-Semitism, but you can't blame people for doing that. 1 second. You can't blame people for doing that when you're having a debate about Israel and no one's mentioning Judaism, and then you start talking about mohels, snipping off pieces of whatever.
You mean facts? Bringing up facts. It is a fact. Don't cry about it. Don't cry about it.
But what does that have to do with Israel?
Because we were talking about patterns of behavior that come from this area, because you said this was the greatest. You listed all of these things that made Israel this wonderful beacon. That was the term that you used. This is also what Europeans said about Europe. This is a beacon for goodness. We're the great people. We're the Christians. We're the this. We're the that. It's the same fucking shit. The same rhetoric that you're spewing now was spewed when they came over and went through 90% of the entire fucking globe. There's only 22 countries in the world that some country from Europe didn't go in and start taking over and taking resources from. Israel is just another one of those.
You're not answering my question.
I did answer the question.
You did not
I brought it up because this is a This is a rebuttal to your claim that it is a beacon of goodness when you are suckling the fucking peen of a baby who you just mutilated with fucking snips, and then you unalive these babies because the disgusting mohel had herpes and unalived the baby.
I understand.
That doesn't speak to a great and wonderful place that is a beacon of morality, does it?
You're going to continue alienating pro-Palestinian Jews, and it's not going to be good for your cause.
Bro, shut up.
Okay. Yeah. Chim
Good
Chim.
morning, liberal.
Welcome.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going well. Let me get to you. Chim Chim's been waiting for a while. Chim Chim, go ahead. Chim Chim Charu, let's go. What is that off of? What is that? Mary Poppins?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I thought. Anyway, Chim Chim, go ahead. Going once, going twice, 3 times, Charu. Johnny, go ahead. Since you have, well, actually, K Tony. No, my bad. Go ahead, K Tony.
Hello, how are you?
Doing fine. What's up, man?
Good to be on your platform again.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
You remember me?
Yes. Yeah, I remember the name, but I don't remember necessarily your ideology. But go ahead.
I am the Australian.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes, welcome back.
I had the honor and the privilege when I was 19 to fight those cowards, the terrorists from the terrorist state of Israel. I will tell you something. The only way, don't tell me salam alaikum and don't talk to me. I'm talking to liberal. Listen, the only way this Zionist can prove and improve is to put their hand in the sand and find another place on the moon, because now they are the most hated creature, flag, and name in human history. When I was 18 years old, I am a Christian Lebanese, lived in a Christian area. We used to have parties, live a liberal life, wonderful life in my holy Lebanon. Those terrorists used to fly all the way from Palestine to bomb the poor Palestinian camps in north of Lebanon. So me and hundreds of Lebanese Christians, we went army training before the Yellow, before the Hezbollah. We were army trained and we fought them in South Lebanon, and we kicked them like rats because they are not good in fighting. They are only good in killing women and children and old people, period. Period. All you have to do, Google and YouTube now, massacre done by the terrorist Israelis, Sabra Shatila, 4,500 people in one day. Der Yassin, Cana, where Jesus transferred water to wine. They killed hundreds of kids and women. And recently they bombed the United Nations peace forces in South Lebanon. They are stealing the olive trees. Where I am in Thailand and in Sydney, there is a signs on every single shop. No Israeli. They are going around stealing the money from the Buddhist temples. These people, they should put their head in the sand and ask God to forgive them for 1 month every minute. And by the way, look for another place, maybe on the moon, if the moon will welcome them. And Tracy, you sound beautiful and sweet person. Google and YouTube is in front of you. Google to find the truth. Those people you said they are a terrorist organization, they were claimed a terrorist organization by your criminal leaders, the American leaders who support the terrorist state of Israel day after day from your own money, from your own tax money. These people are beggars, they are thieves, they are criminals. We fought them, they don't fight. These people are good in killing women and children and famine, civilized people. This is what they're good at. And he talked about Muslims. Most of the Muslims, Arabs, are supporting them now. From Saudi Arabia to Emirates to Jordan to Egypt, they are supporting them 100%. They are allowing the guns and everything, airplane, vegetables, fruits coming from Jordan to the Israeli terrorist army. Those people, they're not worth it. And when you bring someone like this creature on your panel, with respect, liberal, this is what he do. He wastes your time. He's trying to say we are with gays and LGBTQ and whatever, and they are the pedophile of humanity. They are the worst criminal. They are evil. When I was a kid, when we go to church, we used to talk about evil. And when I asked my mom and dad how evil looked like, they used to show us some images. But now I know how evil look like. Evil look Israeli. Evil look Zionist. These people are murderers. And he talked about Palestinians in Gaza. They had lots of money and they were arming themselves. Of course they do. This is what they should have done long time ago. Because what Gaza did on the 7th of October, it waked up the world. The world woke up because of Gaza, because of Holy Gaza. So put your head in the sand and ask God for forgiveness, which I know God will not forgive you, because you've got no idea what God is. You've got no idea what Torah is. In my office in Sydney, I have 18 wonderful, great Jewish people who are against your terrorist state. This army who's killing civilians day after day, taking and stealing olive trees. Who will steal trees? Who will steal trees?
Well, they might be allergic to them.
All those done because of the support of the tax money from the poor American people who are now homeless on the street, and from the corrupt American leadership and some European leadership. But now Europe is awake. I have an office in Athens, and my mother is Greek. I go to Greece and I see they are neglecting the Zionist murderers. Spain, Italy, France, London, they have no place anymore. Only in hell. Maybe hell will welcome them. I am not sure.
The synagogues of Satan, they claim to be
Believe
Jewish
me,
people.
hell,
They are not.
Look, and now in Lebanon for 1 year, the resistance in Lebanon didn't shoot a bullet. They are bombing Lebanon every single day with an American fighter jets. Every single day they are bombing Lebanon because this is what they're good at. But when we fight them, myself, I had an M16. I did an army training. I fought them for 1 year, me and hundreds of Christian Lebanese before Hezbollah in 1981. They will not stand. They are a bunch of bullies. They are a bunch of cowards, murderers of women and children. So this Zionist here on your platform, if he want to pardon or he want to improve, all you have to do, look for another place. If they will fight, because Palestine is going to be free. Simply, good is good, evil is evil, and evil will never prevail. Never. This is what I wanted to say. Thank you so
Tony.
much.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I love hearing from Tony because he has life experience dealing with
I was there. Sorry
this.
To interrupt you
Yes.
again.
No.
I was there. I am a Lebanese Christian from the north. I've seen them. I've seen what they do. Sabra Chatila, who will kill 4,500 women and children in 1 day. Who will do that? Who will do that? Evil. Period.
That's right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, no, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. For anybody in the chat that's wondering why he went on, because he actually engaged with them as he's a younger man. He told this story the other day. So he has firsthand experience in war against them. Because again, they'll try to tell you that they're the victims, but they have been doing this for decades. Attack and then claim to be the victim. Attack and claim to be the victim. They do it over and over and over again. And people finally have woken up to it. Connor, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm not going to respond to anything he said. He spoke for however long. He ran away without letting me respond to him. So what am I going to do? Respond to you guys? No, we can move on.
Sure. Johnny, welcome in. Go ahead.
Thanks, Liberal. So I know you've said in the past you're native, and this is like I want to get to a point with Connor about this. I'm not asking your tribe or anything, but how many are left in your tribe that can actually be on the rolls?
Oh gosh, that's I think it was 10 or 15,000 left. I'd have to look it up. I knew, back when I was 16, I remember us talking about how many were left. Let me look it up and see. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, and that's this is it kind of dawned on me this whole protected status.
Okay, no, I was way off.
16
million. Over 100,000 enrolled citizens. But these are only the downside.
Very few.
Well, the downside here with the way that they did this, the Dawes roll, a lot of natives refused to engage in the Europeans' system, right? So they're still natives, but they aren't recognized as such because they didn't find themselves on the Dawes roll. And then we had what was derogatorily called $5 Indians, where they would pay the commission, the Dawes Commission, money. These white people would pay the money to get on there so that they could come in and steal the fucking land that was given to us, even though it's it was already ours to begin with. 100,000. There are tribes, however, that are quickly dwindling. I just remember a story. I think the last full blood, and this may have been like 20 years ago, the last full blood was like 10 or 12 years old. So they are dwindling in number, and I think will continue to do so.
Yeah, and
until
that's a shame. In 50 years, that could be a very bad situation.
Yeah, unless they only stay within their own. So I'm full blood native. I will only marry and have babies with another full blood. But there's so few of them around that it's it's not. It doesn't happen all the time. So it is what it is. Sucks.
Right. So yeah, that was So out of those 100,000, did you have let's say 5,000? Pairs of 5,000 split up and create a diaspora all over the world, where they're intentionally pushing anti-native speech.
Oh. K. Tony's live content contains themes that some may find uncomfortable. Remove your multi-guest live access restricted. Hello? So it's still showing me live. But I guess maybe I just can't have any guests on. Yeah, I think, did they remove all the guests? Because I just see black boxes down here. Like I still see a panel, but I don't see any black boxes. Yeah, it's probably Connor. I don't even know how I'll appeal that. Yeah, I've just been Israeli. That's fucking funny. I mean, when you speak the truth about this group of people that now own this app, because they do, they come in and do these things like Connor said. Like Connor said, if he had the power to do it, and I believe he probably does, if he had the power to do it, he would fuck with my life. That's what he said. That is their mentality. They want to act like they're good people. But if you notice, even though I completely disagree with this man on basically every kind of moral framework that one could have, I still let him speak. I allowed him to rebut. I gave him the grace that I would give anybody else, because that's the kind of person that I am. And that is moral to me. I'm being moral. Yet them who claim some ownership on morality, they don't see it that way. They don't care. It is whatever they can take, whatever they can get. And that's what they do. I mean, Connor's down in there laughing. I know he thinks it's funny. I'm sure the appeal will probably be approved. This is the first time I've ever seen it where I can't have guests, though. It's kind of weird. But again, he's laughing in the comment section. And we know that Israel has purchased TikTok. We know that. They finalized the deal with Oracle. Ellison is a huge Zio, and he controls that and now controls this app. And like I told you guys whenever it first happened, I think this was back in July, I said they won't do it outright. They're not just going to go through and just banana completely all of these, liberal creators or people who speak the truth about Zionism and its supremacist bullshit. They won't just do it outright. It'll be subtle. It'll be little things here and there. They'll fuck with your numbers. They'll try to run you off, which is what they did whenever they would cut babies from mothers' wombs. It's pretty disgusting behavior. And yeah, see, look, I mean, Connor thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny to take food out of somebody's mouth. That's what Connor is laughing about. You see, I use this actually to get money, right? I get, tried to get paid. And Connor finds it amusing to take money from my children. That is the kind of person that claims to be moral. Your actions, Connor, speak much differently than your words. You come up and you try to act as if you are superior to others, and you do. You come up with this, I'm a perfect, I know everything kind of person, which you do, but then you turn around and you do things like this, like laugh about taking money from somebody's hand and somebody's children. Which doesn't surprise me because you literally do the same thing with Gaza. You guys went through and had a method of making sure that only enough calories to prevent starvation were allowed into Gaza. Why do you think they had to build those tunnels? Why do you think they had to build those tunnels? Because Israel controls literally everything that goes in and out of that space. And see, Connor, what I find amusing is that because you did this and you think it's funny, I'm going to continue to speak and it's going to upset you. And see, now you can't rebut. You can't rebut anything that I say. Now I get to just talk and tell everybody the truth. And the fact of the matter is this is a gross society of people who believe themselves superior to everybody else and they want to own you. They want, just like he wanted to give me permission earlier to answer a question that was asked of me. And he thought that he had some kind of right to do that. So if you want to support this anti-Zionism movement, feel free to gift. Stick it right back in Connor's eye by continuing to support this live and continuing to listen to this message, which is anti-Zionism. Because if you really, I urge everybody to do this. Just Google the CEOs of the major media industry companies like Warner Brothers, Paramount. Go down the list. Almost every single one of them is run by a fucking Zionist. It is a fact. Facts don't care about how you feel about it. But the fact remains that they do control this country. You've got mayors going over to this fucking country that is not America. American mayors going over there saying that they served Israel as the mayor. They have taken control of this country. It's true. I mean, you just look at the way that our politicians respond every time it comes to supporting Israel. And so when these people like Connor try to get you to believe that you are an anti-Semite when you're literally speaking facts, like, for example, Zionists are running the music industry. They're running the media companies, many of the large banks. If you go look at the banks, and they're even trying to erase that. Look at a guy named Scharf. I believe he's Wells Fargo CEO. He went into his Wikipedia and he removed his Jewish ancestry from it. But you can go to view the history. You can go to view the history, and it'll say back in October of I think this year, maybe last year, it spoke about his his love of Israel and his support for this Zionist bullshit. But now today that's removed because even they're waking up to the fact that the world has awoken. And see, Connor thought he'd be clever and come up here and get me shut down. But what he did is he prevented himself from rebutting anything that I say. So Connor, how does that feel? Because my nature is to allow somebody to disagree with me and accept and respect their disagreement. That's my nature. Right? And now you don't get to do that. So it's like you cut off your nose to spite your face. And I'm sure that face is ugly as fuck, gotta say. You probably have fucking skin cancer. You're probably all wrinkled, I get it. You're a European that is living and residing in an area where you don't belong. You're just a white supremacist like the rest of them. This is white supremacy shielded by Jewry. That's what they've done. Europeans latched onto this fucking religion and then reinvented it as a fucking ethnic group so that they could say white supremacist talking points without anybody criticizing them because, oh, no, we're the minority. It's like Eric Samak. Let me pull this motherfucker up. And they do this shit all the time. Let me just prove to you what I'm saying is true. This guy that I'm about to show you, Eric Samak, is the founder of a minority-owned capital management fund. Minority-owned. This man claims to be of Latino descent, and that is what his capital management fund is. Let me show you this guy's picture. This is a minority in the U.S. He is in the U.S., and he claims to be a minority. Does this man look like a minority to you? Does that look like a fucking minority to you? They want you to believe that people that look like this in the United States are a fucking minority. Again, this is gaslighting bullshit. You're seeing it with your own eyes, and they want you to believe that you might be a bigot so that you then start questioning your own reality. This is how they operate. This is what they've been doing for a long, long time now. And Connor, you might have been able to come up here and rebut some of this, but you fucked with the live and now no guests are allowed. So there's nothing I can do about it. I actually think that's the funniest part because what's going to happen is for however long that I am, taken down where I can't have any guests. Here's what I'm going to do, Connor. I'm going to create these stories, these narratives about the history of what Israel is, its colonialist fucking, start. And I'm going to just talk about this stuff from here on out until I can have guests because you tried to shut me down. You tried to shut me up. You tried to get me to not be able to preach the truth to people, and you had the opposite effect. So now the focus of my channel, until I can have guests again, is going to be to take this and shove it right up your ass because that's where it belongs. And if I were to ever see you in person, we would have some serious fucking problems because I am indigenous. And when I see somebody treating people who are from a land, who are indigenous to that land, I see these fucking white pukes mistreating them. It bothers me. It bothers me to the point to where I start to act in ways that I wouldn't normally act because I like to protect those who cannot protect themselves otherwise. So if you and I were to ever meet, and I hope like fucking hell that we do, and I suggest you come on out here and we can fucking hash that out, we'll have a grand old time. But your tricks, your little deceptive tactics, your little Mossad pagers, I don't use a pager. Your fucking walkie-talkies, I don't use a walkie-talkie. So you're going to have to find a way to unalive me because I will not shut up until you do that. So that's the only option that you have here because I'm not the guy that you think that I am. I'm not the person you think that I can just be made to shut up. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to unalive me first. I did not unalive myself, folks. You cut my brake line, you do whatever. The things, the little tactics that you fucking sicko demonic pukes do, you're going to have to do to me to get me to shut up. And you tell your little Mossad bitches that I won't shut up, and that what they just did was made it even worse for your people, because I'm going to continue to tell the truth about you sick motherfuckers, you demented pieces of garbage who unalive babies, who grape children. You used children to be graped by other white men like yourselves in order to gain political favor. That's what you did, because you're disgusting. You have no morals. You have no fucking bottom. There is nothing that you wouldn't be willing to do, you worthless piece of trash. There's absolutely nothing that you won't do for whatever fucking sick ass agenda that you have. Angela, thank you for the $20. I appreciate that. So yeah, so tomorrow, if I can't have any guests, I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to spend the entire goddamn 4 hours telling the fucking story of Israel and how disgusting and depraved and low down, nasty, fucking deceptive bullshit that you are. Because that's going to be my gift to you, Connor. And what I'm going to do is, you're not going to be allowed up, but you'll be allowed to come into the comments section so that you can sit there and laugh and giggle and do that and see that you're going to have to kill me before I shut up. I will not shut up. People have tried it before, you little motherfuckers, in these other groups that are on TikTok that you guys pay to do this fucking shit, to come after people and make sure that they're preaching to your choir, whatever the fuck that means. That didn't work. And so then the Zios just started coming in, or we'll just send the Ministry of Defense in here to get rid of this guy. I don't know why you're so fucking obsessed with me. Maybe it's because of my delivery that you know that I can be effective, just like that person that came up here that didn't understand and I started to educate, Tracy. Yeah, maybe that is what bothers you so much, is because you know that I'm so fair to people that they look to me and realize that I'm not going to lie about something. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I have no fucking agenda. I hate nobody, and that bothers you. And so again, you're going to have to kill me before I shut up. You got that, Connor? And with that, my show did technically end at 1 o'clock. If you want to support the live, please do so with gifts. You can also $LibLoudMouth or at LibLoudMouth some love offerings to support this, so that I can continue to do this, because Connor, that little bitch boy, didn't like what I had to say, so he got my live taken down to where I couldn't have guests anymore. So we need to stick it up his ass and show him that we're not going to put up with this Zionist bullshit anymore. These little deceptive practices, we're not going to do it. So you have to rebut this by supporting the people that will continue talking about this in the face of absolute violent opposition, which is exactly what Connor is. Connor raids the houses of innocent people, and he unalives these people, and he thinks he's doing something right. This person is sick, and we can't allow this to stand. And with that, guys, I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. Be there or be square, and tell Connor to get fucked, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. And to any of the fucking Zios out there, you can get fucked too. You're going to have to kill me first. Peace.